all of a sudden.
Sneaky.
You know?
This ain't sneaky. This is necessary.
It's not a new season. We're just gonna change the whole game in one patch like that, huh?
Yeah. Remember when we were on patch notes last time? We were like, this thing is massive. Well, guess what? We're here again with another massive docket.
That's true.
That last patch was not massive either.
That's right. We got a whole bunch of awesome stuff.
This audio is horrible.
Battle pass, community news, balance.
I can't hear him.
And let's start there because the balance is hefty. Because we are adjusting literally every single
Crank it
god
up.
in Smite.
More.
All at once. We're calling it the TTK update, the time to kill update. So the overall,
I got you guys.
To pull back the curtain a little bit, we've heard the complaints and the discussion about the amount of damage in Smite.
I
The last few
manually
updates,
can turn
we've
them
been
out a
trying to
different way.
address that,
That's so
but
good.
Clearly that has not hit the mark as we've hoped it would. So we've been working on this extra scenario kind of in the background for a little bit, and it's time to pull it out. We basically want to address dying in the early game from too much damage from all different sources, but also how it scales into the late game and what each role's responsibility is in the late game and what they can do and all that kind of stuff. And this has been in the works for a while. Got to give a quick shout out to our pros, Olympians, and Smite creators who gave their feedback on this. This early pitch because there's been a lot of iteration on it already.
And it has been out for a while. We didn't just get this idea, even though you might have heard this similar notes from some other places around the MOBA scene.
The gaming verse, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
That's a good thing. It means that, while there might be similar issues, we're all kind of tackling them in a way that makes sense for our game.
Fix
Right.
the mics,
Previewed
please.
this to a group of influencers as well as the Olympians and the pros weeks ago. We got a lot of positive feedback on it, so we moved it into the fast lane to make sure we got it done. We did mention in the 9.4 update that we had some bigger changes. Really, this whole plan, the nerfing, the affecting of the whole game was going to be a process. We knew it was
Smite servers aren't a problem, by the
Right.
way.
9.4
It's
was
the code.
essentially testing the water.
Their servers aren't crashing.
Looking at the things that were most clearly
Their code is fucking up because too many people are playing the game, and it's ping-ponging the code around and breaking the logins.
But they felt a little small, right?
Yep.
People wanted to feel more. So we have this next plan in place in 9.5 that we're going to be revealing today, which you're going to feel a lot more. And then, of course,
Yes.
very importantly, 9.5 bonus and 9.6 are going to be fine-tuning because this is a very big change we're about to reveal today. It's obviously going to have a lot of big shifts all over the game in all different game modes. It's going to require some fine-tuning in future updates, and that's going to be a #1 priority for us on future updates.
Yeah, 100%. This is going to take some iteration because it's a bit of a spicy one. So let's get to it. We've been talking about what it is, but we haven't been able to had a chance to tell you what it is quite yet. Every single god in Smite, including your favorite god and your least favorite god, is having their base HP increased by 40%. Their base HP per level increased by 5%. Their physical protection increased by 40%. Base physical protection increased by 40%. And increased physical protection per level at base by 8%.
They tested
Magical
these
protection
numbers,
at
dude.
base
This isn't.
increased by 28%.
They
and
started lower and went
28%
up.
Magical protection per level. So everyone, and I mean everyone, is tankier by
A
good
lot.
amount.
A
Very
lot.
good. And you can
A
feel
lot.
it, for sure.
So our #1 goal with these updates was to make sure that this would be a change that all players would feel immediately. We wanted to make sure this is going to make an impact on all game modes, not just Conquest.
Yep.
We wanted to put an especially heavy balance towards the early game because we know that that is the most volatile part of the game. If you immediately start losing, you take an early death, that's very painful. So most of these buffs are applied to the early game. We did apply these by percentage, which has a couple of effects. One is it is going to actually give tanky gods a larger increase than squishy gods.
Yep.
But we wanted to preserve the differences between our classes. If we had added a flat number of HP to everyone, that would have merged the classes a little bit closer together. So we wanted to make sure the tanky gods still felt like
Bro,
the
there's going to
tankiest
be a
gods
build
in the
out there
game
that
and
hits
vice
5k
versa.
HP. At
We also
least.
shifted the numbers here a
Probably
little bit with
6K.
magical protections because those are so heavily front-loaded already.
Yep.
All gods in the game have a huge amount of magical protections at start and then gain a very small amount. So actually the way the numbers worked out, the 28 plus 28 is equivalent to 40 plus 8. We just shifted that so that it's not as heavily front-loaded at level 1. So that is a little bit of a shift. But there's a very long write-up by me in the patch notes that explains a lot of the process here, a lot of the thinking, why we did the numbers in this way. It's something that Clumsy has been running tests on with the dev team.
Nah,
the
yeah,
playtest
this
team.
doesn't
We've had
mean
the pro
tank meta.
players actually scrimming on
Everyone
it
dies
since
slower,
Friday.
so
We'll
tanks
talk
will
a
do
little bit
less.
more about that
Yeah,
later.
Like,
exactly.
you will be
So,
tankier
a
for
lot of
tanks that hit
information
you.
to be learned here.
Like, a
But
tank
what
won't
we're
kill a
gonna
mage
see
as
is
fast.
it's gonna be
A
much
tank
harder
won't kill
to
a hunter
lose the
as
game in the first
fast.
few minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be really
Hybrid
important.
won't do
I mean,
as
we saw a
much
lot of feedback
because
based
you
on the
won't
last time we
have
talked
the
about having
damage
this
and the
kind of
pen and all this stuff that makes up for it.
two-step process, but even further on with the implications, of course. And you know, one of the things that we did last time was hitting a lot of the late game power items. We wanted to gather feedback. We wanted to see kind of the severity of what we'd be needing in this next step. So right now,
The pros been playing on this patch
the
for like
time
2
to
weeks.
kill early game, the first few levels, is gonna be it's gonna be pretty tough to kind of get ganked in whatever level, whatever lane it might be, and you probably won't be dying as you might
Lose my
do
free snipe
for the first like set of abilities. But that's the goal. The goal is for the first set of abilities, the first kind of ganks that you receive, to probably not take you right out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all about the overall pacing of the game. I'm not.
No,
you know,
this
I'm
is
sure
gonna be
everyone hears
awesome.
Every
This
god
is not
gets
gonna
tankier
suck.
and
This is gonna be
thinks, like,
beautiful.
oh my god, it's tank meta instantly.
Right.
But the fact that the backliners are also getting proportionally tanky in response
Exactly.
has really changed the entire dynamic of our playtests. I mean, the way that you can interact with a warrior who's built full damage, they don't threaten you as nearly as much anymore, and it lets you play a lot more aggressively as a backliner.
And also one of the last things is, you know, this route, when we talked about it, for all the different ways we can accomplish the same thing, was kind of the one that was the most feasible, the one that hit everyone kind of in the same way, in the most fair way, right? Because another fan favorite approach is to kind of hit every single god in the game with damage nerfs across the board.
Right.
And that, while we considered it, you know, it wasn't off the table per se. It was something that was probably a little bit more open to subjectivity.
It's
You can't-
inconsistent.
It's inconsistent.
Right.
We can't hit everyone the same way. We probably shouldn't be able to hit every single god the same way. They don't always require the exact same damage nerf. Some gods have base abilities or scalings that are already extremely low. So if you hit that the same ratio as everyone else, then they just go to 0 damage for some components of an ability.
Right.
It just didn't quite make sense. This way, we accomplished the same thing.
You guys
but
have to
kind of
realize
the reverse,
early
instead of
game, like
reducing everyone's
40%
damage, we're
base
reducing
and
their effectiveness.
28% base is
Yeah,
not.
I mean, it's going to be
like,
huge. You guys
a
will
ton.
absolutely feel it.
The
This
numbers
is,
are
in my
low. Like, it's a
opinion,
good amount,
The
but
most
it's
different
not,
Smite has
you
felt
know,
since Boots got
50
removed.
fucking
Like,
defense.
It is
It's
that
bigger
level.
than that.
I think it's bigger than that
It's
too.
bigger than that.
You know,
It's
it-
the biggest change potentially to Smite balance in all
Ever.
of Smite history.
yeah.
This is
Mess
gonna
around in a
completely
9.5
change the
patch,
way
just make the biggest
Smite
change to
feels
Smite
when you
history.
play
You know,
it.
that's just kind of what we're
This
doing
is
these days.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, it's something that we know the player base wants and is excited for. So, you know, we can't wait for people to try it out and let us know how it feels. Let's give them a little bit of an idea.
There is
about
one
what
class
the
that's way
magnitude
better.
of
Yeah,
numbers we're looking
absolutely.
Yeah, great point.
It's
So
hunters,
at
right? It
level
has to be.
1, for some context, the minimum HP increase that you can have is 145. So the
squishiest god
the
in the
squishiest gods in the game will get 145 extra HP. The tankiest gods in the game will have an extra 210 HP. Well, 209, but I'm rounding up a little bit.
No rounding.
Okay, no rounding. At level 20, the minimum buff, he's my boss now, so I have to
See,
respond
like, you have to
quickly.
realize that 300
at level
HP
20, the
at level
minimum
20
buff
is
for
like
the squishiest gods in the game,
an
they'll have
auto.
202 extra HP, whereas the tankiest gods in the game, Guardians and things like that, will have 304 HP after this change. Physical protections, level 1, minimum 3.5 or 4 physical protections, or up to 9.5 physical
Protections are gonna be
And then at level
impactful.
20, you
You-
can have
those
up to
you will
7.5
feel, like,
more, or
really
7.4,
right away.
Sorry, no rounding. Physical protections, or 14.5 physical protections. And magical protections, all gods have the same. That's a little nugget of truth for you there, that all magical protections are the same for all gods. Though you will have 8.65 more magical protections at level 1 and 13.44 magical protections at level
amount.
20. So
Good amount.
the big one is that you're going to feel, I think, is that HP, but also minions won't be dealing quite as much damage to you.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of different
There's
fallouts.
a
Yep.
whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be shaking up the game too, not just this, huh?
Wait, now they're allowed? Do they
To
regulate their
expand
shit?
A little bit more on those numbers. We really
It's
wanted to keep
aggro's
this
loud. The other
around
ones are quiet.
Making sure you can survive another direct hit from an ability, right? We have various abilities in Smite. They can do roughly, we think, 100 damage is a high.
You just said
damage
40% is
ability.
noticeable. They just
Yep,
showed you the
account for
numbers.
Some early starting power.
It's literally like an extra auto or two. You're still gonna get ganked. You're still gonna die.
That 145 health for the squishy gods felt really important to us because that's where you can make sure you can take another direct hit.
Yep.
If that jungler blinks on you in mid lane right away,
exactly.
you can take another direct whole ability to the face and not die. Now, depending on your skill level, this might seem like it's impossible to die at level 1 now, or it might seem like it's not enough. We've seen a lot of different feedback about that, so we're excited to see how it actually plays out with the whole player base. But all of these numbers were really focused on the level 1 and 2 and 3 experience and making sure that one small positional mistake wouldn't immediately get you killed. So you can take that extra ability, the extra protections also help that. We wanted to do health and protections to make sure that we kept the game relatively in balance proportionally from where it is now. Like if we just did health, then potentially other things that do percent health damage or percent healing would have been more impactful, but doing health and protections all together and all gods together at the percentage, again, we were really focusing on consistency. So a lot of those
Big
things all very
complaint
closely connected.
by people that understand the game was time to
Ironically
kill
enough,
being
it has
way
created some
too
really
fast
interesting scenarios where
to
gods
the
you
point where
think
you
might
almost
be
couldn't
better
react
off, not that
sometimes,
much
and
better.
that's
Gods
not
you think might be worse, are way better.
traditional
It's a
MOBA.
lot of big shifts, but that's also what our pros really wanted. And from what we can tell from our players, that's also what people really wanted.
Like you don't actually
Change
have to be the
game up,
best
make a lot
player
of
in the
gods
match
better,
to
a lot of
insta
gods
kill
might be
somebody,
not so good.
which is a
This
problem.
really does that.
Like,
Yep, I don't think, like we said,
if I don't have the
game
ability
has
to
felt more
outplay you
different
every
than it ever
time when I'm a
has,
better player, it's
while,
kind of
while
annoying.
still maintaining a lot of the same fun aspects. It feels like I have a million new things to try, and that's very exciting. So I'm excited for you guys to get a hands on it as well. And that's not all that we're doing, of course. We've got balance that we're going to go into a little bit more, but we also have a brand new Conquest refresh here coming on in the map that we're going to be able to go into. The Knights Keep Conquest map is going to be what we're doing here in 9.5. We've got new map decorations, a new Obelisk system, and a new siege engine. That's right, all you siege mains.
Siege?
You only got to get one more person, and then you can queue up for Conquest, and you get some of that siege feeling. Or Slash players, you know, you can kind of do it as is. Yeah, the Knights Keep Conquest map, one of the most stunning map geometries I think that we've had in the duo lane in particular. I mean, this area and the new area in duo, absolutely awesome.
It's really cool. There's a big new castle art asset added to the outside of the duo lane that would have been that vista or cliff. Now you'll see a medieval style, Arthurian style castle.
I'm recording, Tally.
Hint,
You're
hint.
good.
What? The main focus of
Take
this,
strength.
this is a really big Conquest update, let's just say. Season 9 was something we experimented with a lot of different mechanics, a lot of different balance changes, and we got a lot of feedback over the last coming months. We've already done a lot to tone down the snowball, but we are going to continue to do that more in this update. We are keeping the Obelisk mechanic, but heavily reworking it at all stages for how you collect offerings, how you pick up offerings, what the rewards are, is all being changed. But that system is remaining in the map, but with a very different twist to it, a very different reward, and it's tuned for more clarity and for more clear and direct impact.
Yeah, I think that once we get a chance to go in game and show it to everybody, it's going to make they're going to be wowed first of all by the visuals of the map, we hope, but also kind of explaining this new Obelisk mechanic and everything that we have going on. Because overall, I think that the Obelisk mechanic as a whole has been very, very positive. It's kind of a new way to play the map and force different rotations and timings and a new objective to play around that doesn't just instantly give you a ton of golden experience like a Gold Fury would or a Pyromancer would, anything like that. So I think that in that way, just finding new ways to expand upon that is very exciting as we are in game, Lermy driving us around to the new castle
that
over
is
here
pretty
in the
fucking
duo
sick.
lane, Duo Kingdom.
It's a visual.
That's
It's
what
not.
it's gonna happen.
It's mainly visual, but that shit is dope.
The castle camp, I like that.
Got to go for castle camp.
Yep.
Yeah, there was so many changes to this Conquest map. You're going to want to check the patch notes for all of them.
Okay,
There's
there
a
were
lot
not
of very
so many
specific
changes.
to jungle camps and their values and their their
That's
tankiness,
true.
their health, and their XP. And
Cams
gold.
are way
If you
different
find that a
now
little bit
in terms of
difficult to read, just check the
like
dev
how
notes
long
for the
they
main
take to
summaries.
kill,
Yeah,
like all that
we're
shit, how
gonna try to
fast
do
you can
the
kill
main
them,
summaries.
how much damage
First
they
off,
do.
This beautiful new castle. Shout out to the environment team for doing a great job here. We wanted just a very new focal point.
Map
to
is
this
clearly the
lane.
same size, but it looks
So,
larger.
a
Nah,
new
it looks
look.
the exact same.
So
It's
you
just
can
in your
see
head.
that here. It's gorgeous. The next thing I want to talk about is the Obelisk. So
Yeah.
we do have a completely new system for how you're going to unlock and collect those offerings.
And the Obelisk itself is themed now. It's going to be different.
Oh,
It's
so
also
it
an
is.
Arthurian obelisk, right?
Yeah,
so
it has
the
to
Hindu
be.
obelisks have been replaced with the Arthurian obelisk. When the obelisk activates, which is now going to activate later at 6 minutes instead of 4, again to kind of prevent some snowball, it's not going to mark jungle camps anymore. Instead, it's going to spawn mist camps.
Oh,
so you
bring it
can
back
use
to
these to
mist.
stealth yourself like you could in the winter conquest.
Very nice.
And within the mist camps are going to be these lost knights, these ghost knights. You can destroy these to get your offerings. This is the only source of offerings outside of stealing from your opponent. So when all the mist camps spawn, you can see they're marked by the little chalice icon on the mini map. You can pick these up.
There's
to
only
fill up your,
6. There's 3 on each side.
Obelisk, or you can lurk and hide and wait in there and see if someone else will come to try to steal them and you can ambush them from the
So
start.
yeah, I'm wondering if
I've
people are
been,
going
I've
to,
been hiding in the mist and playtests.
Yeah,
man. I love it.
I
We
wonder
can see some
how
safe
many
ones, we can
times
see
people are
some
actually going to try to steal
contestable
these.
ones, right by the castle camp. I think we saw a mist camp over there.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, clarity and simplicity. We are keeping the.
But once it's
loot
picked up, the
similar,
fog's
but
gone.
making it a little more focused.
Which
So
is weird.
Only offerings will drop from mist camps. All of the mist camps will spawn in the same place at the same time every time the obelisks activate. They will have their own unique respawn timers, which I believe is 60 seconds, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's too many numbers for me to remember all of them. I'm even cheating with my phone here trying to make
I mean, the current obelisk people don't understand at all. Like,
but
average
to
players
collect
just
the,
do not
offerings
do
from
it,
there,
do not process
when
it, do
you
not
fill up your
prioritize it, so
obelisk, you're
it
gonna
needed
get
a change.
completely new reward as well. We found the scepter was pretty interesting, but it was difficult to apply. It had a lot of complicated follow-up actions that required. Now, when you complete your obelisk, you're going to get a Trebuchet siege engine that will spawn on your side of the battleground.
Very cool.
It's going to stay in your Phoenix until someone
Wait,
on the
wait,
team
wait.
walks up to it.
Getting
to
all 6 of them doesn't fill up
It's
the
going to
fucking
push the
thing.
lane
You
back.
actually have to wait for
So it'll
another
also
round.
Spawn in the lane that has the most healthy
Wow.
towers
Yep.
in it.
Yeah, I think that knowing exactly where, it's very easy and very clear to see which lane it's going to go to. It's just, we got it, what enemy tower is the healthy, which lane has the healthiest tower.
There you
and
go, right there. We can see that the obelisk filled up, and a new mini-map icon shows up on the dual side Phoenix here.
Yep, so Lermy goes back to base. It won't start until you give it a little shove, but you don't, as we all know, these escort quests in games are the worst when you have to stand next to it forever, when they're so slow. So all you've got to do is tap a toe inside of it.
It's got some little guard minions with it too.
They can do the escorting, you know?
makes so much
I'm a god. I've got
Shout out
stuff
to
to
the
go and
classic
do.
Joust medieval minions.
Yep.
Coming back. So this Trebuchet also has a very unique type of combat that we don't usually see in our Siege Juggernauts. So this Trebuchet has very specifically only a long-range attack. It cannot defend itself at short range. It won't hit things too close to it, but it will be able to lob fireballs and hit enemy structures and minions. And it can hit enemy structures from outside of the tower radius.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a particularly powerful push tool.
Bro, this is
It starts
nuts.
a little weak in the early game with a little bit of
For, like,
a
split
low
pushing and
HP
shit,
pool,
this
but
is
that HP
nuts.
pool will scale up into the late game, and it makes for a very powerful way, a completely new way to siege the towers, where you kind of create this front line of gods that can stand outside the enemy tower range, but between the Trebuchet here,
Look at
in that
this.
narrow
Happening right
space,
now.
Doesn't-
it can defend the Trebuchet without actually setting foot in tower range. And you can see it did a pretty nice chunk of damage to that tower.
Every time
Yeah.
it hits, though, it dies.
I mean, yeah, when it just keeps going. It does take a little bit of damage each time it fires so that it can't just push
Yeah, very good to
forever.
bring that up.
That
But
shit is nuts.
I think that the big thing that there is a little bit of a
It
learning
spawns
curve
in the
around
lane
this
with the
objective,
highest health
but in
tower.
a very fun way. Like if your team doesn't want to group up and push with it, fine. You can just push it along and it'll do its thing and it can get a couple tower shots in and everyone's happy. But when you're playing as a coordinated group, you're playing with your friends. Hey guys, we've got the Trebuchet. Let's come take this tower. It has felt very, very impactful in those moments when 4 people show up
See,
in my
the thing
solo
that's
lane with a
crazy about this
Trebuchet, and
is-
I'm like, hello, I'm gonna
If
lose
you
my
don't
tower.
actually want to get in the tower range, you just stand in front of
You
the
have so many different ways
Trebuchet,
to play it.
and
You
you're
can have one
like, they're not gonna
person
kill
but
it.
then if you
They're
get
not gonna just
rotating
insta kill it.
on, it encourages a lot of interesting early game rotations.
I mean, bro, this
You
is
have 4 people showing up in the
nuts.
solo lane unexpectedly.
For pressure, like if you get this, if you're behind, it adds a lot of pressure to the lane.
It can be pretty easy to just go kill, counter kill. Jungler. can
This is
decide
the new
to press
obelisk.
this thing up in a
There's
minute.
no more
Yeah,
Jimmy.
a second,
This
second,
spawns in the
second.
lane with the highest health tower
You have
after
to
you
fight
fill
or
up
you
an
can ignore it.
obelisk.
It is really up to you how you want to fight and play into it.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of different applications that players are going to have
I mean,
to
it
learn how
dies.
to
It's got a
use,
lot of
but
health. Look at that
that's
shit.
exciting. You know,
Granted,
that's what
there's
you
no
play
items on
modes
this
for,
Merlin.
so
And
try
really
and
what
learn.
we like about this,
So you can kill it,
offerings
you know,
much
late
more
game
clear,
pretty
always
quick.
from the same sources, always in the same locations, and reward much more clear. It's a big objective on the map that's doing a thing, as opposed to a more high skill oriented individual player buff.
And worth noting that these trebuchets, like we said, don't start until you touch it, and they will
You get
stay
Merlin's
at
base
your
health
Phoenix
now, by
line
the way, and
as
base
long as
defense.
you'd like. So if you want to
80
stack up
fizz,
some
61
trebuchets in
magic, or 62
multiple
magical,
lanes
and
or
2100
in the
HP.
same lane,
Use them as a defensive tool.
you can use them as a defensive tool. You can use them to the mid game. We want to go to Fire Giant. let's shove 2 trebuchets at the same time, and then it becomes very difficult to defend against. So it's really cool, definitely a new dynamic to the Conquest map, but one that I'm excited to see players get their hands on.
Now, before we go into just the large amount of balance across this whole map, have to mention that we obviously had to take the time to kill adjustments into factor with a lot of our changes on the map.
Yep.
So in order to do that, we really have
You
two
just had
big
to glow
passes
up.
across the map. One is we're doing a lot of changes to the XP and gold sources. The things we're
No
doing
more
that way,
small
first of
camp.
all, is we're fine-tuning.
Or sorry,
all of them.
green camp, I guess. Green
So we're
camp is part of
making more
small camp.
Individual harpies. So here you can see the green buff has been changed to green harpy trio camp. We're going to be adjusting individually the camps across the map. So jungle camps, red to purple to green to blue to speed, do not have to share the same total XP or gold values anymore. Also, we made more different types of harpy and more different colors of harpy, so we can be more fine-tuned with how much experience is in different places. You see that mid here now has 3 blue harpies on each side.
Yep.
So there's just a lot of shifting going on here. I don't want to say that this means that this camp is like directly worth more or less
Sure.
than it did before, because it's a little complicated. But what I will say is that generally, a lot of these camps are worth a little bit more, but the contestable ones are respawning less often. That's another thing to focus fights towards more specific times and to prevent snowball. And then everything in the jungle has generally gotten tankier, so
Yes.
it's a little bit slower to clear. That's another key goal for the Conquest, just bring the pacing down a little bit, but not too much. And everything in the jungle hits really hard back.
Very hard.
Because everyone's getting so tanky, and we wanted jungle camps to be a little bit more scary, we had to really buff this hard.
Yep.
So jungle camps hit hard. Jungle bosses also hit hard.
Yes. Yeah, jungle bosses
There's so
especially.
many specifics in here to go through. I don't even know how we're going to.
I don't think Arachne can
Yeah,
solo any objectives
I
anymore.
think that for the most part, that's kind of the thing you just need to know is that mages beware
Shit
of
has
red.
11,000
Whoever's
HP.
playing mid, beware of red.
Beware of taking Gold Fury.
Yep.
We also did a few things where now Gold Fury, Fire Giant, and Pyromancer, their offhand abilities will deal magic damage, while their basics still deal physical. So you'll need to
Change
tank up
randomization.
in both ways against those.
Very
Also, potentially one of the most important changes on the map. Minions are now going to be tankier as well. So you're going to be spending more time in lane. It's going to take a little longer to clear those minions. That could potentially have really big effects on which gods become viable, how junglers plan their paths,
Yep.
which contestable objectives you go for. So we really just wanted to, outside of the time to kill changes, which are for everyone, we also wanted to create a lot of
I don't think
really
AA jungles will be any
meaningful and
better.
impactful shifts to the Conquest.
I just
game
think
mode.
high clear
To make
gods
sure
are gonna
that
be good.
We really took the feedback of 9-4. Yeah, this is a lot of stuff, but it doesn't really feel different.
Right.
We took that personally.
You're going to be feeling it now.
And we took
yeah.
that
And we woke up. No more sleeping. And we changed a lot of stuff on this
Real
map.
stuff, you know what I mean.
Can't say you can't say all the mean words. On
Yeah,
this.
the red eyes and all. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that the way that it's felt to me and the way that I've heard it described by the pros who have been scrimming on it and all that kind of stuff is that it feels like the early game and the mid game just last longer. It takes a little bit longer to get to late game.
Right.
Late game, you're still doing damage. You're still
And
taking
it was
damage.
very important to us that we slow things down, but not overly much.
Yep.
And that we slow them down more in the early game, but not in the late.
Yeah, Hog gonna
Yep,
have some
more
value
laning
in
phase,
level 1
a
clear.
little bit more laning phase, a little bit longer to clear your wave,
Yeah.
but not so much that you can't go do other things, not so much that you're sitting there having to last hit all your creeps for the first 6 levels of the game. It's still
Hog is
all
useless
about
now? They
fighting,
didn't
all
scale
about
it
being
up?
active, just slowing you down a little bit.
And,
Why would they
we're
not
already-
scale
we're so
Hog
excited
up
about
for
this,
level
we're
1?
struggling to make sure we keep our language PG-13, which will be difficult for the Slipknot lyrics as well. But
True.
They're the real deal.
Oh, the timers.
massive,
Okay.
exciting
Okay, I was
change.
making. We still have one more thing right
Very
here.
Wait, they're
exciting
easier at
change
level
still
1?
in
Oh shit, what the
Conquest
fuck?
map and all maps is that towers are getting
That's actually kinda nuts.
significantly scarier. They're getting big HP buffs in the Conquest map.
Yeah, towers about a
especially
fuck.
the Titan getting a huge amount of additional HP, as well as more HP it gets from each structure on the map. Also, all towers are being increased their base damage by a significant amount, and all towers and phoenixes are now going to have 30%
That's a big
penetration built into their shots.
That's what I've wanted
These towers hit
forever.
A lot harder.
A
We
lot
had to be careful again
Forever.
because we made everyone tankier. So we buffed towers a little bit,
Forever.
then potentially it's still easier to tower dive than it was last patch.
Right.
So
But
we had to
in this
really
case-
go hard to make sure that these towers are very scary.
So
I've been
is it-
saying
can
that
we
for, like,
confirm that
4
towers
years.
with this patch are going to be scarier
did
than
it.
they were before, even with the TTK changes in mind?
Oh,
Except
yes.
maybe for very early game, very tanky.
Right.
You might be able to essentially tank a similar number of total tower shots like in a tier 1, but it's going to ramp up, and that's going to be with the penetration. That's going to start to factor in a lot more. And throughout the game, it's going to matter a lot more. You're going to take a lot more. Squishies are going to take a lot more damage from towers. This will be much harder for assassins to early game tower dive.
Yeah.
And you have more HP as the the mage or whatever hunter being dove.
Right.
So it will be harder to dive you in that sense as well.
I mean, I'll tell you, we did a play test with a lot of the esports gang, and the towers killed me way more than Mifflin did.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was.
I remember one of the first playtests. I got 3-man dove in mid, and I was just running in circles, yelling to myself, "Towers are scary now! Towers are scary now!"
And they,
just
like, all
watching
died.
these opponents just drop. I think they did get me, but it was like a 3-for-1.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is
Because
insane how much
they were
damage
taking
they
so
do.
much damage from the tower, and they were
Yep.
standing there so long, and they were like they were not realizing
They
how
weren't
much
giving it the
they weren't
respect it
respecting
needs.
it.
What up,
yet,
Deja?
'cause
Yep.
it's new. So shout out to you players out there watching the show. You're gonna have your homework done. You'll be ahead of the curve. Be careful with those towers. And this is going to be
Yes.
applied not just to Conquest, but all Smite game modes. So
Yep.
Joust towers, Slash towers, Assault towers, all getting scarier.
But it is mostly against gods with that penetration increase. So your minions, you can still siege in the later stages. It's going to be harder if you start to tank the Phoenix, but it doesn't like insta-kill your
We
wave
actually
in
do
one
have
shot.
individual unique damage values for towers on damage to minions versus damage to gods, and that's
Right.
all specified in patch notes. So that was
all
adjusted a
there.
little bit because minions were adjusted as well, but the god damage was increased much more.
Yeah, definitely much more against gods. Okay, let's get into some actual balanced numbers, shall we? Specifically, at the very front end here, all about some of these hybrid itemization. Yo, dog, we heard you don't like when hybrid itemization kills you. And so I'm about to rattle off like 15 different power
I thought
nerfs.
you were going to say you're going to wrap this list up.
No, I sure am not. No. That definitely not in practice enough for that. You know what, Jethans, actually, let's just bring it over here. I don't need these guys. We're just gonna power through these as fast as humanly possible. Here we go. Tower Shield, that's a tier 2 of Void Shield, or of Shifters and all that kind of stuff. Decrease from 20 to 15. Hope your fingers are fast, by the way, Jethans. Berserkers, decrease power from 25 to 20 and decrease physical protection from 50 to 40. Shifters, decrease power from 30 to 25 and decreased power on the passive from 30 to 25. Glad Shield, decreased power from 25 to 20. Void Shield, decreased physical protections from 45 to 35. Runic Shield, decreased physical power from 35 to 30. Ancile, 40 to 35 on the physical power. Cataceus Shield, decreased physical power from 25 to 20. Frostbound Hammer, shout out to Lermy, decreased physical power from 35 to 25. Rudenforged Hammer, decreased physical power from 35 to 30. The Sledge, decreased physical power from 40 to 35. Blackthorn Hammer, decreased physical power from 30 to 25. Celestial Legion Helm, decreased magical power from 70 to 55. Lotus Crown, decreased physical protections from 60 to 50. Jade Emperor's Crown, decreased magical power from 40 to 30, and decreased health from 350 to 300. Then we've got Tyrannical Plate Helm, decreased magical power from 85 to 70. Voidstone, decreased health from 250 to 200. Decreased magical protection from 60 to 50. Stone of Fall, decreased health from 200 to 150. Stone of Binding, decreased magical power from 30 to 25. Physical protection from 35 to 30. And decreased magical protection from 35 to 30. And that brings us to some tier 2s that are getting some buffs. It's Spell Focus and its Warrior's Bane recently removed this percent penetration, but after some feedback from some high-level players in particular, the power spike difference between tier 2 of one of these pen items and tier 3 was just too much. So both Spell Focus and Warrior's Bane, that's the tier 2 of Obsidian Shard and Titan's Bane respectively, are getting 5% penetration back respectively.
Yeah, especially for the cost of those items for the tier 2, you were going from the 10 to 0, especially with the TTK changes. It felt like
That's
there's a
what I
lot of
wanted to add.
it's a
Yep.
combination that felt pretty
very
bad.
important to add with the time to kill changes. So 9-4 bonus did not have the time to kill changes, so the percent
Right.
pen felt okay to remove. But with everyone,
They
getting
just
tankier,
patched
we wanted to bring
fucking
some of that percent pen back.
thumbnail is troll as
That time
fuck.
to kill changes also were an important factor in nerfing the hybrid items. We had heavily considered nerfing the hybrid items even before the time to kill changes, but with the idea that everyone could be tankier for free,
I hope
that
this
opens
means
up
Soul
an
Inners
ability
start
to build
playing
hybrid
more
items,
carry
more
style
power
gods,
items on tanks.
or more
So we wanted to be
damage
really
based gods.
careful that we did not create essentially all 5 roles playing any class as a hybrid
Fuck
build
warriors,
class,
fuck
where
Soul
being
Inners being
pretty tanky
skillless
and doing pretty good
turds.
damage all at the same time. So we did feel like it was very important to nerf that. So if you want to be really tanky in 9.5, you really can build into those full tank items plus the time to kill buffs.
Yep.
But if you still want to build, if you still want to shred people late, you build those percent pen items, those percent health items. Kins and Soul Reaver and potentially even crit and high penetration builds stock's gonna go way up, right?
Yep, stonks, absolutely, for Soul Reaver and Chin Size in
We just
particular.
can't stop memeing today.
Heartseeker. Well, I am hosting the show. Like, you knew, you
No,
guys
dude,
knew
it's
we were
good.
doing
It's
that for it.
because the Slipknot
Good to
shit
be
is
back.
troll as
Okay,
fuck.
let's head into Gods. As a reminder, by the way, this is live on Tuesday, May 16th.
Oh, that's
that
exciting.
is,
Right away.
it is not very
PTS
far
this
away.
Weekend, live launch next week.
Going to be a busy
schedule.
weekend and everything for Smite fans. PTS is going to be big. Okay, let's get into Gods then, shall we? Let's start with Loki. This is more of an adjustment to Loki. His laugh has been removed as an audio cue on Vanish. That's his stealth.
Right.
Due to its inconsistency in volume and duration between skins. This ability will now have a single audio cue sound effect that shares a volume and distance modifier across all Loki skins, but with some slight adjustments depending on the theme of the skin. So just all about consistency. This is what Loki sounds like when he goes stealth.
Very important. You know, we've been seeing a lot of the Loki mains really analyzing.
You're gonna
every
hear
skin.
it.
So
You're gonna hear Loki stealth
we have
now.
a lot of fantastic audio engineering work done in this update.
They find this out through hide and seek? I don't know.
Another quality
I honestly don't know where this came
Carlin
from.
and his amazing audio team.
Because it's been like this for 10 years,
Hopefully
and they're
Loki
just
fans feel
now
good about
like,
this.
yeah, let's do some
We
changes.
want this audio cue to be very audible, right? It's
Yep.
very important to hear. So it's going to be, still pretty present, but it will be much more consistent now between skins.
Yep, definitely looking forward to feedback on that. Let's go to Serket, who's getting a buff.
Listen to
Her
this.
basic attacks, this one's a little bit exciting.
Yeah.
Her basic attacks, the third basic attack in her attack chain will now cleave, so this should help her jungle clear pretty significantly. She's also getting a buff to Cobra's Kiss, decrease the cooldown, that's her
These
2,
buffs are
from
really
16 to
good.
14. And on Last Breath, decreased pre-fire animation time from 0.2 seconds to 0.1 seconds. So hopefully you'll have a little bit less of that situation where you latch onto a god as they try and leap away and you like half play the animation and then it doesn't take your cooldown and they still jump. Reducing this and really cutting it in half, even though it's already a short time, should account a little bit more for some of those server latency sort of situations that can cause some disagreements. on
That cleave is huge though, which is
Yeah.
going to make sure she can clear better, which is going to be really important for her. I feel like with 9.5 and all the early testing, we're already like so far past this, but there was a lot of discussion about how diminishing returns affect various characters. It's
true.
We are going to talk
my
about
God.
a couple different gods on that. It
Yeah.
feels like an eternity ago, right?
It-
was
it
just a
really
few weeks
does.
ago.
Yep.
Serket was one of the gods most indirectly nerfed by 9.4.
Yep.
She didn't have any direct nerfs. She was reworked the patch before, rebalanced the patch before. But she fell even harder from a lot of those 9.4 changes, so we did want to make sure we got some meaningful buffs for her on this update. The gods on this update are also difficult to discuss in terms of how they worked pre-9.4,
Right.
in 9.4, and now again in 9.5.
Yeah.
So we did keep the balance this update to gods a little lighter. We focused on a couple gods that we feel like have been struggling for a longer term.
Yep.
And we're going to go over a few buffs now, but there are some additional nerfs to gods as well for some that you felt like we nerfed in the bonus but didn't quite get far enough on, so there are a few of those.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's head off to Thor then. He's getting a buff as well as a recipient of some changes on that DR change.
Right.
Increase the stun on the wall from 1. It was 1 to 1.6. Now it's going to be 1.2 to 1.6. So still ending in the same
It's a
spot
nice-
late game.
nice
but
little change,
as this
but
is
is
the
it
last
really
ability
make
max,
Thor good now?
Getting a little bit more CC in there just to make sure that he's not as indirectly affected by
Yeah,
those
the
DR
2 is more
changes,
because of the DR
as he
changes.
was before. And then increase the base damage of Anvil of Dawn, which is his ultimate. This is the landing damage. It was 100 to 300, now goes 100 to 360. So a nice little base damage buff on his ultimate.
Specifically aiming more towards the late game on the base damage of the ulti, and then playing up on that early game with the DR changes on the stun.
Yep.
One thing we did want to add with Thor and DR is that we know there was a couple gods that were listed out as being maybe specifically hurt by DR more than others.
Yep.
We wanted to be very careful with those changes, though. We didn't want to just go and buff all their CCs right away.
Right.
Especially since we saw Iset and Horus actually specifically get much better in that patch, even though many people thought they were hurt because of the DR changes. But their win rate stats did go up. Thor was affected, though, as was Serket. So those were buffed. And we're testing this here with Thor. And we think it's a better plan to adjust these duration numbers as opposed to making more immune to DR
Right.
type of CCs,
Like
because
a
that can
Bracken.
get difficult to track already. There are a few in the game, and generally the ones that are immune to DR are like that for a very specific reason.
Right.
Thor's is just a ranged stun that doesn't really have a specific reason to be DR free. So this is the method we choose for that, and we will continue to look at those gods in the future. Although with all this stuff in this update, the players might forget about it, but we are going to keep track of it.
And exactly, we want to be a little bit specific about it too. We didn't just buff it across the board, right? We wanted to hit its problem spots, which is a low duration stun, specifically in the early ranks, right? So we're going to keep those things all in mind as DR kind of plays itself
CC
out.
as a whole is still generally nerfed in the game. So we wanted to just not just undo that right away by buffing a bunch of individual god CCs, but specific gods who need it and be very specific about how we do it.
Great. On to Gibelanke. He's getting a buff to his 3 Rising Jaguar, increased poison bonus damage from 30% to 40%. We're getting closer and closer, guys, to the
original.
When I started playing,
I loved X-Ball on launch.
Open beta when you could just 2-3 someone and like do 60% of their health.
He was what got me into the Hunter class. I didn't play
His
any
mic
Hunters
is
really
so
until
loud
X-Ball
right
came
now.
out. I was mostly a tank and mage main. But X-Ball was my first Hunter that I loved. And this ability, it used to deal 50% bonus. So that's what. So this is a true multiplier, 1.5x the total base and scaling damage from this ability. We are buffing this back up to 40. We think that's going to be a sweet spot. This makes for a really fun risk reward. Like you can really get aggressive when you're boxing. You can try to juke some abilities while hitting with a really strong burst ability and close the gap to keep people up. But then you're going to be without your dash. Without your CC immune dash.
So this is going to make Smite
very risky, but you will
very
feel
different.
this buff. We've been playtesting a little bit. It is definitely
a lot
noticeable.
of fun.
Maybe not very different.
Okay, on to Rama, another Hunter. Decreased the mana on infinite arrows from 60 to 80 to 40 to 60, and increased attack speed from 30% to 50% to 40% to 60%. So that's on his 2, the attack speed stim.
That's a buff.
And then rolling assault decreased mana from 70 to 90 to 50 to 70. So Ram, one of those guys
good Rama changes.
we hear, we got a little bit of a passive rework a little bit ago in order to address some of his mana concerns. Still, certainly better in that department, but still needed a little bit of help as a god that doesn't want to build Transcendence. And I think that these mana costs and a little bit of extra attack speed will also help him a lot.
Funny enough, we were seeing very little Rama at the time we slated these buffs, but then I think in the most recent SPL we did see a little bit of Rama.
Isn't that always how it goes?
I know, right? We hadn't seen a single
Do you
Rama
think we
pick
have
in like
do you think
8
we have
months.
a spy? Do you think we have a leak somewhere, AJ, that they're like, hey,
Well,
we're gonna buff this god?
we do give some early feedback from.
I know, but it's uncanny. We're about to buff a god, and then all of a sudden
Literally
they're
never
like
been
100% pick ban.
Yeah.
Right, and you're like, what? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Oh, Drago! What the
Quality of
fuck?
life focus
Thank you,
over
man.
more
And the
light.
13 months?
So we do expect
50
Rama to
gifted.
gain a lot of
Thank you,
value
Drago.
in these upcoming updates.
You looked a little nervous there, Clumsy. Are you the mole? Are you the one?
I do be leaking Smite card.
All right, let's go on to Naja then. Naja on the passive, increase the time before losing passive stacks from 10 seconds to 12 seconds, so you should have that more. We also are very aware of the problems with Naja passive, and they should be addressed in this update. Okay,
You
great.
only
In
give
these
50?
In
Yeah,
these
50's a
patches.
lot.
So
Don't
yes,
say
we
only.
are. I know that as soon
Big
as I
ol'
brought up
50.
Naja passive, I could hear the alarm bells going off.
Yeah, they're
Twitch.
fixing
Right.
Naja, I think.
Rama got a bug fix too, I think. That was pretty nice.
Nice. And then Windfire Wheels increased protections gained after landing from 20 to 40 to 30 to 50. So
That's
Naja
nice,
a little bit
actually.
more
I didn't
survivable,
remember
both
that.
with the ultimate and with the fact that you're going from camp to camp. You can keep your passive up a
Thank
little
you,
bit
Harry.
more.
Thank you,
and
the
that
one.
just feels good in general, but then also means that you get a bigger heal whenever you activate the 2. So that should be pretty solid for Naja.
Longer clear times in this update is going to
Yep.
help with that passive, as well as everyone's
Like,
going to be
beat
a
me,
little tanky,
thank you.
So just one-shotting people is going to be harder, which is one of Naja's specialties here.
Sure.
So we wanted to make sure he had a better ability to follow up fight. So that bonus protections lets him hit his ult on someone, and then when he lands, he can actually continue fighting, which is great, especially if his team is moved in position well after that person lands, right? So
Yeah.
you can actually follow up instead of
Thank you,
just,
Zane.
hey, I'm just going to get this person out of the game and then we're both
you,
gone,
guys.
which is, I think, a less fun way to play.
Yeah.
Naja.
I
You're
hate
the
Naja.
main.
No, I felt the same way.
The way Naja
Yeah,
is played,
Naja's
so
kinda
maybe
sick
in this new
I don't
change,
think I
like
played
maybe with
tested
the
it
way
all.
the
That
meta
sounds fun.
shifts,
I wanna play
he'll be
some Naja on
fun.
PTS this week. Hercules getting a
Thank you,
buff,
Epiphany.
decreased the
Ooh.
cooldown on Earthbreaker. That's his 2. It goes from 14 seconds to it was
Oh, that's
14
actually a
seconds
good
flat.
change. That's
now it's going
a
to
pretty good
scale
change.
down as you put more points in it. So by the time you max it, it'll now be 12 seconds, just giving him a little bit more opportunity to start fights in the late
Thank you,
game.
Jerome.
But we've seen what he can do when he can start fights at will in the early game, so didn't want to go that direction.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, well said.
Terra getting a buff, Force of Nature, that's the dash, decreased cooldown from 15 seconds to 13 seconds, and decreased the mana cost on Monolith. It was 60 to 100, now going to be 60
Kingfish,
to
I am
80.
going to post this
Yep,
right away.
that was a very high mana cost.
So
ability.
Terra, we were seeing a good bit of in the Pro League, but we did that, fix/intended change to remove her ability to double proc her items.
Right.
Really her abilities were designed with the idea of you either consume them via the shatter or via their regular effect. Not
It should
both.
make
So
his
we did
ult.
remove
You
that.
do know
That
Naja's
did
ult
take a
is
little
all based
dip
on
for
where
her,
you ult
so we're
from,
gonna look
right?
at bringing her back.
Yep. Another Guardian
bounce
up next,
back to wherever
Sylvanas,
you ulted
Nature's
from.
Bounty, that's his passive. Increased cooldown reduction provided by picking up seeds from 0.25 seconds to 0.5 seconds. This does upgrade later on in the game to a full second, I believe.
Dang.
And that is unchanged. So this
That's
is
really good.
just
That's
aimed
way
at
better for the early game.
Because we were looking at this, it's like, 0.25 to 0.5. It's doubling. It seems like it's a lot more.
It is a lot.
It's a lot more efficient. It's very strong, but it's already going to that 1 second later on. So this will just be almost like a quality of life and a fun cooldown buff across the board.
So
feels good to
Sylvanas
use. I played
Infinite
him in the
CD
play
hack.
too.
That's a
Yep,
title
pick up
for
the seeds.
Sylvanas game right there.
Baba Yaga getting a buff. Baba's Brew, that's the 2. Decreased cooldown from 14 seconds to 12 seconds at all ranks. So you get to toss a
That's
few
a good
more
change.
potions in the middle of the game, which is what I love to do as Baba. So I'm excited about that one. And then Pele also getting a buff. Pyroclast, that is the 1. Increased the physical power scaling from 60% to 70%. And that is only on the throw out of Pyroclast, not the little return shots or anything like that. But
Good point.
play more Pele. Pele's cool. I want to see more
What a
Pele in
boss,
all my
thank you.
games.
With a little bit of
In all-
tankiness, she might get better with ability to self-sustain and really live that low health
That's
life
true.
threshold and really stay
And
alive.
she-
She might get better.
You are not barely dead when Pele kills you. Like, she overkills by a lot the vast
kinds
majority
of
of the time.
characters
And
are gonna
those
be
gods are the
stronger.
ones that are that don't get affected by these changes quite as much. The ones that barely kill you probably aren't killing you anymore.
Yeah,
but
true.
the ones that kill they had damage to spare.
I whooped your ass.
Executes?
Baby damage ass.
Executes,
true.
yep.
Yeah.
Executes definitely got better.
I mean, lots of stuff.
My
Wait, look at what
movement
it now
Hades
buffs.
whooped
There
your
it is.
ass.
There you go. We already done. That's what he does.
That wish granted.
ESET getting a nerf, as AJ mentioned, even after the DR changes, ESET actually saw a win rate increase, so getting a nerf here on Dispel Magic. Also, of course, her pro viability and how prevalent she's been there. Decrease the magical protection debuff. It was 10 scaling up to 30% in max rank. It'll now be 10 scaling to 20% at max rank. And this will certainly affect ESET mid, but does affect ESET support a little bit more.
Absolutely.
True.
But-
But it's a big utility effect there that just felt a little too strong for a god that kept performing well, although maybe not the most community perceived strong god. Very high pro play priority.
And also, I think it's also going to be important for the dev team to keep an eye on all these things that do a percentage of the things that we've just increased, right?
Yep.
Anything that has
Good point.
percent health, percent protections have already just gained in value.
Merksta, thank you. What is going on, dude? Thank you for the 5 gifted, Merksta.
Yeah.
Dispel Magic, definitely sneaky, one of the best abilities in the entire game.
Right.
Like non-ultimate abilities, Dispel Magic
Honestly,
is probably top 10.
ESET's 3
Absolutely
is
insane.
underrated.
Who's on the
People
list?
don't realize what they're
It's
getting hit
Gilgamesh.
by
It wouldn't
when
be a
pops.
it wouldn't be a patch without a Gilgamesh nerf. Am I right, everybody?
Fuck Gilgamesh.
Dropkick, decreased physical power scaling of kick damage from 40% to 30%, and also decrease the power scaling of burst
Fuck
damage from 40%
Gilgamesh.
to 30%. So if you kick someone and they don't hit into a wall, it's only a 10% nerf. When you kick someone into a wall, you will have lost 20% scaling after this change. As well as Heroes Advanced decreased movement speed. It was 25, scaling up to 35%.
No
It is now just going to be a 25%
self-respecting Smite gamer
increase to your allies running
likes
towards
or
the hero.
And that's the big one. There
appreciates
was a
or
huge amount
wants
of utility coming
Gilgamesh.
from that, regardless of where
Yep.
you played Gilgamesh. That ability was giving your whole team a sprint relic nearly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still is almost. So that needed to
Twisted,
come
thank you for
down.
the gifted
We've
sub.
seen that
Knuckles, thank you for the prime
utility
sub.
effects for allies, although it may not be always as noticeable. If it's something like Sprint, you're going to get in a big burst, but if it's something that's just playing all the time, it may
Right.
not be as noticeable. Those actually have really big changes on win rates for gods.
Yep.
Very impactful.
Absolutely. Okay, Artio up next, another pro-focus god here. Decompose, that's the passive. Decreased max stacks from 8 to 6. And Energy Surge, that is the Druid
going
form
on?
1. Increased
Popo,
cooldown of
thank you
both
for the 4
forms,
months. Rank, thank you
and
for the 5
actually
gifted
and ball
and
price, so
2.
it's both. Increased the cooldown. It was 12 seconds.
Yeah,
it is now
fuck Artio.
15, scaling down
Artio
to
dead.
13.
Solo
So a
lane
massive nerf
players
there to Artio
are
1.
dead.
Big nerfs.
And decrease
Physically,
the damage of Maul
emotionally,
Prey. That's the bear
mentally.
swipes. It was 40 to 160. It does
Done.
hit twice. It is now 35 to 155. So little bit of a
Learn to
damage
play
nerf
some real
though, because
gods.
it's doubled. It's a little bit bigger than it looks, but definitely a very big nerf to Artio's laning phase in particular.
This goddess brings a lot of utility.
Yep.
So that
Another
those max
5,
stacks on the
Harry.
passive is actually gonna decrease the amount of
Thank you
protection
for the
tread
5
she applies.
gifted.
That's what those do. But bringing the damage and her core damaging ability down, so she can really focus on. She can still be very impactful in a team fight with all the utility and CC she brings. So letting her shine in that regard, bringing the damage down.
I
Also,
think
she's
everyone's
just gonna
excited
force
that
the
solo
lane,
laners
so,
are getting the
even if it's
bamboozler
one
right
nerf.
now.
We
Fuck them.
think with
Drago,
this-
thank you for the
with this
50
nerf and all
gifted.
the
It'll
other
pop
shit
up
she's doing,
eventually. You broke
We'll
shit.
probably see her a little less now. Hopefully
James,
by
thank you for
then.
the sub.
Probably, we'll
Welcome.
see. It's one of those like we buffed her and she's already been nerfed past the point of where she was before she got buffed, and she's still
the meta does that
dominant.
to you sometimes.
Yep.
You know?
And
They get sticky.
Nah, bro,
And
the
I'm
people
sure
playing
a lot of
Gilgamesh in the
things that
jungle
there's a lot
are
of things that
solo
are
laners
paper craft
playing
in this
jungle.
game, but
Realize
a lot of these
that.
changes are to be kind of amplified with the other things that are happening, right? With
I
the
like
big
these patch
changes,
notes, them.
with
These patch notes are really good.
Emperors and celestial nerfs and all the different hybridization nerfs. Guardians is
And I've
well.
only heard
I think
pretty good
Guardians
shit from the pro
alone
players.
Probably won't be as effective in the solo lane anymore. They don't have the in-hand.
Well,
I think a lot of people that think they're like really good at Smite are going to feel
it's gonna be harder
worse. Like they're gonna feel like
Yeah,
they
definitely a little bit
became worse
harder.
players in this
we'll
patch.
see what actually ends up happening in the solo lane meta overall. And speaking of the solo lane meta at a high level, especially Kleedna getting a nerf. Tear the
fuck
Veil,
Kleedna.
that's the ultimate. Increased cooldown from 50 seconds to 60 seconds per charge, and decreased base
Drago,
damage
baby!
from 80 to 240.
Thank you, Drago.
That's what it was. It is now going to be 60 to 200, and that also ends up being pretty impactful because the damage reduction you get from getting hit by multiple stacks of that, and that applies to gods, minions, jungle bosses, all that kind of stuff. Lowering that top end amount actually ends up making this ability do a lot less damage.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that used to play Smite will enjoy it again because it'll be more the pace they remember when they left. From like season 1 to maybe into 3.
Because you don't always get hit by the burst. But
Right.
if you walk through it at all, you will take generally the first.
I know
hit of the
customs
rip,
gonna-
which
I don't
is
know.
still a pretty big hit. So bringing that down considerably.
I just
and
want
then that's
PTS,
also gonna
brother.
bring down all subsequent hits. So,
Give me Friday, dude.
Pretty big nerf for her. We, she still might need more, but we noticed that from bonus, people felt like. she still
K-Jax,
needed
thank you,
another
Brad.
one.
Thank you for the 2
It
months.
also helps her hit her PvE like laning or
Yep.
jungle bosses and other stuff like that. It's gonna hit her in different ways, which I think is gonna be pretty
Xander,
important.
thank you for the gifted.
Hopefully getting her off the nerf list next time.
Yeah, speaking of getting them off the nerf list,
Oh no!
guys, I joined the design team in like February.
Zeus.
You know how many patches we've had since then? This is the third one, right? This is the third one.
Zeus nerfs have we had?
This is the third
All
Zeus
three?
nerf, not even including bonus nerfs.
Oh.
Well, the god is really good.
Guys!
And the god is going to be really good in this patch too because of his sustained
Yeah,
damage.
but he's Zeus. Whatever, man. Chain lightning. It was 10 seconds. Now it's 12.
Totally unbiased.
Totally unbiased. Aegis Assault decreased movement speed. It was 20 to
Aggrega's
30%.
favorite god
now
of
it
all
is
time.
15 to 25%. So
What is
5%.
it? Mad Cookies,
on
thank
each
you.
end.
Ninja, thank you.
And decreased attack speed. It was 20 to 40%. It is now 15 to 35.
They pretty much just
5%.
nerfed all
cooldown's gonna
of
bring down a
the
lot of
base
total
shit
damage, his
for
burst
Zeus.
combo,
Not the
and then
super
that
strong
utility
parts of
also,
Zeus, the
we're really
base
glad we gave
parts
it
of
to him.
Zeus.
A lot of times we try to be careful with removing the thing we just gave you.
Right, exactly.
But after he already got some other burst nerfs and still
Zeus
needed some
does
more,
well
it was time to adjust this.
At
Yeah.
like a
good.
casual and
He
ranked
deserves
level,
it. I
dude.
think he's
Just
gonna be in a
because
good
people
spot
aren't
after this.
coordinated
He's
enough
gonna
to,
be
coordinated
fine.
enough to dive
And
him.
here's the real kicker that these guys might not have realized. Aegis Assault and Chain Lightning used to each be 10 seconds. We
Right.
nerfed Aegis Assault to 12. And now we're setting Chain Lightning to 12, so they'll be on the same cooldown again. It'll feel good.
Right. It will feel good as long
a
as
good way
you're
of thinking about
blowing
it.
people up a little less often.
But the fact that it doesn't start until cooldown until you get it back, it's fine. Zeus is going to be fine.
Zeus is probably one of the gods that contributes to many complaints of initial
I know.
game burst damage,
I know.
especially in non-conquest modes, right?
But
So-
guys, every time I like on Twitter and on if I stream or something like that, everyone's like, "Aggro, you're supposed to represent all of us Zeus mains. Like you're messing up." I feel like I'm letting my people down a little bit.
you are
know?
unbiased in the balance meeting. So
Josie's aggro's doing a great
Kudos
job.
Cool.
to you on
yeah.
that.
All right. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's fine right there.
Appreciate it.
All right.
that's
That
all
does
balance.
That's all of balance. Just that's it. And also the fact that every god got 40% tankier at level 1 and 8% tankier
yeah,
as
that
the game
little
goes
thing.
on. And yeah, that whole thing. If you feel like your god didn't get changed, just remember that they did alongside every other
we got
god
an HP buff.
in the whole game. That's right. That brings us to maybe my favorite thing we're going to show
I am
off today.
so excited for this.
This is
Yeah,
going to be awesome.
We ended up something like, hey,
Wait, I
all
don't remember
crazy
this.
Awesome stuff.
What is this?
Some crazy
This
awesome
is the
stuff
biggest.
coming
This
up.
is one of
Oh
the biggest
my
Smite
gosh.
updates ever, honestly.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. We've got a nice little video to give you a preview of what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, sorry, I did.
Oh, they're bringing back the old map. The OG Smite map. Yo, Drago again! Thank you! With the this is the old map, right? Yeah. Classic adventure. I wonder if you're gonna be able to pick up multiple buffs like you could back then.
I'm on it.
You are able to? Oh shit. That's sick.
Right, baby.
I mean, that was amazing video. First of all, shout out to High Res Whiskey Worm.
That's right.
The perfect person for that assignment.
Literally born to do it.
Beats new. All of the gods, the classic gods, fighting off their new remodeled selves. But the closed beta Conquest map is returning to Smite, which a lot of our players have never played.
It's so fun.
I myself, as a closed beta player, was super excited about this. I've been pushing for this feature for quite a while.
If you heard the playtest was coming, he's like, I'm going to be there. Like, dropping everything.
Yeah,
I wanna be
AJ's
the
so
first
busy.
one.
We like never get to have him in playtest as much as we like. He was like, "Is it a classic Conquest test?"
The
I'm
first
clearing my
classic
schedule.
Conquest test I did very greedily schedule to make sure I could attend, so I could be one of the first people to play this mode in over 10 years.
Yeah, this is a map
I
from
did
10
record
years
that
ago, bro.
playtest.
This shit's kind of nuts.
I lost, I think, but it was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I don't think I did.
I think I recorded that playtest too.
So this map is crazy. So I don't know, a lot of things to talk about. First of all, we are considering this a part of Smite Adventures.
They're back, baby.
Adventures don't have to be a dungeon or a specific mode
Or a Smite
specific
card.
format or a racing game.
Or multiple Smite cards.
Really what we like to think of is that adventures can be anything. Adventure
Honestly,
is
they
us
should bring back Smite
taking
card.
a unique twist on playing Smite and doing something new. And really,
But you should be able to play it between queues.
Smite Night.
Yep.
Not just Classic Conquest.
Yep.
Classic Conquest is the feature map of Smite Night, but Smite Night is the adventure, and that is the key feature that we're here to talk about today.
That's right. So what is Smite Night, you might be asking yourself? Well, I've got the answer for you in this absolute novel of patch notes that we've got. Smite Night is a new one-day-only game mode that opens up once a week.
Wait,
so the whole
what?
idea is that you want to get your friends together to play Smite on this
What
special
the
night,
fuck?
and you'll be earning bonus rewards and get to play new modes or interesting twists on current game modes. Smite Night will occur on Saturdays and last for 24 hours, and it will feature a different mode each week. So here's a little
Yes.
preview of what you can expect from Smite
Wait, what
Night
the
in the
fuck?
next few weeks. On May 21st, you'll be able to play Classic Conquest for the first time in a decade, basically. And you'll get some crest rewards for it. You'll get a loading screen.
Is it
and
you have
a
to queue
heavenly
as
light
5
chest.
Those
to
are
do the
good rewards.
5v5
Yep.
conquest?
You want to show up and play these modes to get those.
Yep.
Also, as you can see here, Classic Conquest is exciting, but we're bringing out some other stuff that people have never played and they're very excited for as well. The second Smite Night is going to be All Out Slash.
Yep.
That's going to be a match of the day rule set on the Slash game mode where you can pick duplicate gods,
Oh, cool.
like the All Out Assault, which
Yep.
that is my favorite match of the day because you can build some really crazy comps and wombo combos.
Yep.
So it's going to be All Out Slash. We're then going to have Classic Conquest again, and then we're going
What's
to
going
have
on?
a very exciting 5v5 pre-made parties only.
Pre-made
Have to be
Season 9
5v5. That's
You
interesting.
will not be able to queue this Smite Night without a full.
Dang, so if you have
5-person
no
party.
friends.
So we know that, 5-person party ranked.
They
mode is
basically
kind of something that
said,
people just
fuck
for a
you
long
guys with
time.
no friends.
I remember it.
We do have problems with getting a sufficient population if we run it all the time. But if it's a one-night only
true.
event,
People know when
you
to
can go and queue with your.
You guys
5-person
have
party,
3
and
weeks
all
to
Smite
make
Nights
4
have
other friends.
leaderboards.
Good luck.
Yep.
So if you really want to show off and show that you're the Classic Conquest champ or the 5v5 Conquest champ, if you want to run this, through your streams, through your Conquest, through your community, to try to be the best of the best on Smite Night, there will be leaderboards. So that 5v5 Conquest is.
There's a
essentially bringing
leaderboard?
back something
Oh,
that players
shit,
have
we
asked for
grinding,
for
boys. I
years.
got no friends,
And
though.
You'll get some really cool free, free skins, free chests, and Smite Night unique. I believe the loading screen is that. Really great art with the gods playing games on the couch together.
Oh,
like,
cool.
Oh,
this
that's
is-
awesome.
That's the loading
Okay, cool.
screen.
It's a really
or
good
one
one.
of the loading screens and stuff like that. So unique rewards on that day only for playing that mode, and really exciting modes.
Yeah, to give a little bit more clarity, again, Smite Night is going to be on Saturdays for 24 hours, but the queues are only open for that amount of time. Each Smite Night, a player will be given 2 quests to complete on that Smite Night. You just saw the rewards on that graphic there. These weekly Smite Night quests do not carry over and must be completed on Smite Night, so clear your Saturdays, Smite fans. Each monthly update, players will also have 2 Smite Night milestone quests that will last the duration of the release and patch. Players must click or press on Start within the limited tab in order to earn rewards and earn progress towards these Smite Night quests. So don't forget that. Have to click Start. Quests will not progress unless players click that Start button within the limited tab.
Which
So-
we're going to talk more about the limited tab as well.
Yep.
It's a new screen inside of the play menu.
Yep.
That will feature are limited time game modes, and we'll show you what the Smite Night is, as well as the rewards, and there will be the button there to start the quests.
Yeah,
which
don't
you'll
forget.
need to go do.
Don't forget.
Yeah, so you'll be able to earn 2 rewards each Smite Night, as well as 2 rewards per month that you can unlock the progress towards on playing on any of the 4 Smite Nights.
Great. I mean, it's the fact that leaderboards are there as well. Like,
I
I
can't
think
wait
that's
to see
so
who's
cool.
going to be the classic Conquest champs.
Is Pon busy
know.
that weekend? I think he might be.
He might be.
He might be busy that
Oh,
weekend.
I was like,
It's got to be
I
Pon.
need to find some babysitters, get the kids, because because I feel like I have a little bit of an advantage because the meta of Classic Conquest is also very
different.
And we've been practicing it a little bit. We are going to share some of those tips with you though in
We
the
are.
future to give you some head start as well. But yeah, Smite Night leaderboards will be active and we'll show the top players. And once Smite Night is complete, that leaderboard will stay up for the week.
Yep.
So anyone can go in and be like, oh, I wonder who won last week. And you can see, oh, wow, Algro really did. He carried that 5v5 team Conquest. That's awesome. But then when the new Smite Night starts, they'll be reset and the leaderboard will begin anew.
That's a cool idea,
So
actually.
Every Smite Night will have a new chance for
That's
you
a-
to
that's
show
a really
off
cool
your
idea.
best in Smite. And with the different modes, you might have a specific advantage one week over the next.
Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk a little bit more about Classic Conquest because, like we said, this is one of the things we're most excited about. It is crazy that this was the map in 2012. Like,
10 years ago.
That is
Yeah,
a long.
10 years.
That is a long, long time ago, and we're really excited for all the players who have joined us since season 1 or
Those
onwards.
of you who never
that haven't
played
got a
back
chance to
then
play
are
on a
in
map that
for
looks
some
like this at
shit,
all.
dude.
We did aim to preserve as much as possible of the rules and pacing as the original map.
You
So
all
it
are gonna
will-
be like, what
and
the
art.
fuck
Yeah, so
is
it will
this?
be. Turn up the brightness on your
Wait, are they
monitor.
bringing
This thing
back
is
OG
dark.
gods?
Like,
'Cause
this
they said
map
it
is
was, like,
dark,
old
and it
gods versus new
feels
gods, or
so
were they just
different
saying
to the way
that
that
to say
current
it?
Conquest plays? The pacing is so different. The amount of gold and experience you get is so different.
Just
And
models?
that
Okay.
We tried to keep it
Imagine
as
they
close
brought
as
back the
possible
OG
while
shit.
also making it feel good.
Original Arachne
Right, and because we
returns.
kept it close as possible, that might mean it has some issues with it. But that
Oh.
was the reason why it was redesigned in the first place, and that's part of
Yep,
the fun.
yep.
It has a very unique experience to it and a very unique charm, and it is a really fun map to play.
Man, the first time we tried to pull a Gold Fury and it like chased us through the jungle
Oh,
because
that's
there
so
was no leash
confusing,
radius,
yeah.
I was like, what is happening, man?
There's
Like,
a lot of cool, crazy stuff.
So a couple of the key features you'll see on this map, the economy is a little different. One thing you'll notice is that the late game, especially,
Yes.
there's no scaling on gold features in this map, or
And
the-
you will
or
notice it.
significantly less. So it's harder to get a lead, or it's harder to hit max rank. I went back and looked at the PAX launch tournament, which I believe like Pon and Zapman and some people you still know won. The mode was over. The match was over 60 minutes.
Yep.
And multiple players were not level 20.
yep.
So the curve
That's
is
very
very different
possible.
on this map, so prepare yourself for that. Another very exciting feature is that jungle buffs are not symmetrical.
No.
So if you're in a lane, you might have there's also new jungle buffs. You
Right.
might have a green buff, which is actually a health per HP 5 buff, and a blue buff, which is a mana regen buff. But your
Without
opponents
cooldown.
on the same lane will have a movement speed and a protection buff.
Yep.
So you have to kind of build your comp and plan your strategy against playing against someone with a different buff than you.
Full on side jungle, it's all there.
Another feature is that jungle buffs can be stacked on the same player.
Yes,
You
sir.
As one player, you can hold
I'm
as
a
many
jungler,
jungle
they're
buffs
all
as
mine.
you want. Now,
Yep.
because of their durations and the movement across the map is a large map, it's hard to amass really more than like 3 or 4, but it is possible to just get all of the jungle buffs on the map and have all of them on you at once. So you can have red buff, 20% damage, movement speed buff, 20% movement speed, protection buff,
insane.
plus 30 base procs, magical and
It's insane.
physical.
Yeah, you get OG
20
movement speed
MP5,
too.
20 MP5 and 10 cooldown reduction, like all on you at once. If you do,
And a fire giant buff.
and you get all of the belts on you, and you
It's
look
awesome.
like a running multicolored Jenga tower,
Yeah,
like running
it-
around the map.
I did it with Pele one game where I literally had all 6 buffs and a fire giant buff,
giant? Oh,
and
man.
I felt immortal. And I basically was, because dude, speed buff on this map is so insane. Like,
Right.
green buff's insane, yellow buff's insane. They're all nuts.
So the jungles are also, many jungle buffs are positioned outside the lanes, right? So
Yep.
there's
Yeah,
more
side jungle.
distance to travel to get to those. Also, the meta is very different, which I'm not going to
Very.
go through all of it now, but you may want to play different gods in different locations. Generally, you play as 2 duo lanes and a single mid lane.
Yeah, no
Not
jungler.
necessarily a
There was no
dedicated jungler
jungler
on these
back
maps.
then.
There's only buff camps, no experience camps. The fire giant is in an enclosed volcano with a roof. That
The
you can't
lanes
see
used to
through.
be like the
Dude,
weirdest
it knocks
duo
you up
lanes too.
It
so
has
fast.
Different abilities.
Yep.
Yeah, it has a bigger knockup, and it has
It's
it
impossible to
floods the
avoid.
whole room with lava.
Yep.
So you can't avoid the damage you take.
It is awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some more classic Conquest
Old
stuff. We're gonna
Fire
do
was
some,
so
not just
chaotic
skill maps,
as you
but
couldn't see the
maybe I'm not
fucking
supposed to
floor,
mention.
bro.
That's gonna be really exciting.
You cracking
We
coming
will
out the
potentially
ground. You don't know
do
that shit's
some
about to
dev
slap
streams
your
and coach
ass.
You guys a little bit more on how
Would
to
love
play
to.
the meta because it's really wacky. You usually want to play assassin mid and then tank hunter and tank
Mage.
on the end lanes, and you might want to switch your comp based on which buffs you have available to you. So
Yep.
you might not know which left or right you're going until you spawn into the map. A lot of different stuff to do.
It's wild.
So, but also because we want to make Smite Night such a huge celebration, such a big time, this map's only going to be playable on Smite Night. So you're going to have to wait from launch day until that Saturday to play this map for the first time.
Yep.
Except for PTS, so I'm sure we'll get a lot of our content creators getting Conquest
Yeah, that's a good point.
footage on PTS. So please,
Yep.
if you're really excited about the map, play on PTS. However, after the first Smite Night, we are going to open this up for custom games only.
Nice.
Yes.
So this map will only be playable on Smite Night or in custom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So make sure you're queuing up on that Saturday whenever Smite Night begins in order to play
And
that classic Conquest
one
map.
of the very exciting reasons to play PTS.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like our PTS, this is going to
be a
be
huge PTS.
huge PTS, like new season level PTS easily is what I'm expecting. So make sure you guys all have that downloaded. You can find information on how to get access to the PTS on the Smite Game website.
So excited about this map. I learned Smite on this map. I
Yep.
started playing on this map in closed beta, and it has never been touched by anyone. A lot of our console players who's they didn't have PC
Right.
closed beta, they never got the chance to play this map. So there's a
Played
lot
with
of
BTS,
history,
of course.
a lot of nostalgia. and
played a
fun
lot
with
of
this map. We're
PTS.
really excited to bring it back.
Is the map balanced?
A lot of PTS.
No, I don't think so.
That's part of the
But
fun.
is it fun?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. And if you break it, we've got leaderboards to prove you did.
I'm very excited to see how the meta evolved
Me too.
from where
Right.
it left off 10 years ago.
Me too. Yep.
Is Pon Pon's tournament-winning meta still going to be the meta, or will
Yeah,
we
I gotta
find
go
new
watch that
strategies?
VOD. I gotta go watch that VOD.
you
But I
going?
can't
That's good
arachne
stuff.
pull
That's
I don't
people
even
through the
think
walls.
There's a VOD of it. There's just like a highlight reel.
Oh,
I had to,
really?
like, pause a trailer to see only one screen of the Minotaur kill, not Titans, by the way. The Minotaurs was
Of
the
course,
original
and it
boss.
will own you, by the way. It is,
Yeah.
it is so hard to end the game.
So yeah, really excited for this. I mean, I hope everyone else out there is too.
Yep, cannot wait, man. Smite Night, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
And we're
Make sure
also
you
going
guys
to
are all there
continue
for
Smite
that.
Nights through future updates.
It's actually
with
crazy. They're
potentially
finally
other,
dropping season
system
9. We've been
maps or,
waiting,
different maps, new maps
5
that I
months for
wanna
this
try.
shit.
Modes, yep.
Too
We're
spoilery about it, but
finally
it is
getting
gonna be
season 9.
A multi-update
And we're also
thing
getting
running
season
every
0.
Saturday for
That's
the
nuts.
foreseeable future. And a new way to earn free skins and other free rewards.
It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait for Smite Night to get kicked off. And I mean, I've been waiting to play more classic Conquest. Every time we play test, I'm like, can we just test that map again?
is-
Like,
yeah,
it's so
I'm so
fun.
excited for it.
It's absolutely awesome. Okay, so that does it overall for a lot of our balance and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was a good portion of this giant packet, but it's not all of it. We've got community news, we've got Slipknot stuff to go over, we got a battle pass to go over, and of course all the great skins
I don't know what their battle
for
pass is.
9.5. One of the big things that I do need to remind you about in that community news is that you need to go out and make sure that you're claiming your brand new Super Shredder Prime Gaming.
You need to go
Robin
out
skin.
and go
That is
outside.
absolutely awesome. This is
You
a
need
great
to leave
skin.
the
This
house
is
and
a
touch
new
grass.
skin. This is not the same old Shredder skin that you got before, and you can only get this through Prime Gaming. So make sure you grab that while you can, because it's not going to be around for much longer, because we've got a new Prime Gaming skin incoming that I'm not going to show you.
Your question is why the hell
I got a
Slipknot
whole
thought it was a
little
good
bit-
idea to
little bit
collab
back
with
in
this shit
situation.
company?
So
Because no
again,
one else
the
is
new
collabing
Super
with
Shredder Prime
Slipknot.
Gaming skin for Robin as part of our crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Make sure you grab that while you can.
There are
As
fucking
well as some
100
SPL news.
total
Smite
people who care.
Masters is starting very, very soon. Starting what? May 19th. So
Ooh,
not
8 days?
quite this week, but next week it'll be May 19th. It's a 2-week event, and it will be played on 9.5. The pros have been able to scrim on this patch, as we mentioned. They got a little bit of a head start on practicing in order to get ready for this event. So a big 2-week event for Smite Masters starting May 19th, which I cannot wait to watch. A little bit of merch news. For fans, by fans, hooked us up with this amazing new merch. I'm rocking it right now, the Charybdis and Scylla sort of situation. We got the wall deco thing back here as well. That is absolutely awesome. Brand new hats, new pins. Absolutely awesome stuff. For fans, by fans, some of the coolest Smite merch out there. Make sure you head on over to that. You can get your own at a link with Smite merch. I think it'll be in the chat or something like that. I don't know if I'm supposed to read that part or not, so I'm just not going to. Clearly, I'm very good at this still. And then that does it for our community. Again, make sure
no one's saying Slipknot's not good. Slipknot and Smite have no crossover. Nobody fucking goes on a Smite game, picks Zeus, and says, I want a Slipknot fucking skin. That doesn't happen. If you're saying that, you're full of shit. The last time you even looked at anything Slipknot, looked at it, was never. You heard it, you didn't look at it. You don't care about Slipknot. You're full of shit.
Through the new map for us and all that kind of stuff, to talk about some quality of life changes as well as some battle pass. So let's start with the quality of life changes. Relics and glyph purchasing. We've heard it's not the way you want it. You know, we've heard the community. We've maybe we heard it once or twice even. Now, we've changed how it works. You can just double click on the relic you want in the full relic menu. It's not going to pop up with the sub menu. Same with if you want to buy Calamitous Rod of Tahuti. Your Rod of Tahuti without buying Calamitous Rod of Tahuti, you just double-click the Rod of Tahuti in your store.
Oh, they're finally fixing it.
It feels really
Thank God, dude.
It feels really good.
If you still want to get to those glyphs or other relics, you can of course go to the sub-menus that exist within the item store, but you can also click on them in your inventory, and that will still bring you to the glyph screen, the relic trees, and all of that stuff. But every other place, it's going to be the way that you're expecting it to be.
Yeah, let us know if this is the way you want it. We think it is. Dude, playing it on dev with this change and then like going to play a game on live and I like double click and it like opens the menu, I'm like, oh my god.
My muscle memory is all messed up, but this is going to be such an amazing change to really bring that back together.
Agreed. And also adjusted some volume levels for quality of life changes as well. So please do enjoy that. Okay, let's get into the battle pass situation here.
I want to know what this battle pass is because it's not Slipknot isn't a battle pass.
Past. A little bit of a different look here.
Oh, it is bringing back the old skins?
After buying in to the Battle Pass and unlocking the buy-in skin, which is Trickster Loki, as you progress the track, you will unlock 4 pick-your-own chests that will allow you to hand-pick any skin you want from any of the pre-Season 9 non-crossover Battle Passes. And those passes are as listed below. You don't have them below, but I have them here. Too Hot for You, Darkness Falls, New Olympia, Sweet Victory, Pirate Queens, Enchanted Chronicles, Lightbringers, Final Boss, Necropolis, Most Wanted, Heroes of the Wild, Cleanliness versus Godliness.
So if you missed any skins from old battle passes, you can get one. But what if I have them all?
In fact, we've got a little video to show it off exactly how it's going to look here for the Battle Pass.
Oh, crazy. They give me gems. Potato.
How exciting. Some more people to fool.
There's gotta be some skin I didn't get, like during that time I wasn't playing much Smite. There has to be some skin I don't have. Has to be. If this goes all the way back to the beginning, there has to be some skin I'm missing.
Absolutely awesome that we're giving a chance to these players who haven't had a chance, who weren't playing at the time or weren't able to get these skins for whatever reason. Now they get to pick their own favorites from a lot of these. And I'm sure that there are those of you out there wondering, well, what happens if I have all of these skins? Or maybe I got the ones I liked. I don't like these other ones. You can just simply choose to take gems instead. So it's a win-win for everyone, right? You get the skins that you don't have. And if you have all the ones you want, by playing in the Battle Pass, you'll just get more gems.
Also, just a note back in the Slipknot shit, I think all of the music collabs in Smite are fucking stupid. Like, the crossover makes no sense, has no overlap. I think they're all shit. Like, the DJ ones were all trash, just so that's understood.
So at last, you know, if you participate in the Battle Pass, it is the first skin that you'll get on the buy-in. So that right away, you'll be able to have this awesome Loki skin.
Yeah, Trickster Loki, definitely one of those cards, or one of those skins that you feel like everyone's always, you know, oh, I wish I could have gotten Trickster Loki. Like that one, I feel like comes up a good amount. Do we have a view of Trickster Loki in game? I think we might, but I'm kind of just going, yeah, I'm sending it. There it is.
Look at him.
Just hope for it.
Just hope for it. And I know Jithens has got my back. He's a beast. So, you know, I know production has me. It's going to be a lot of fun to see which skins are most popular. They get pulled out of these pick-your-own chests. I'm looking forward to that type of thing. But, yeah, please get excited for the Blast from the Past Battle Pass. Okay, on to some new skins that you will be able to check out. We're going to start with the costume chest. And this one
It's fun.
I can see your expression right now, and I just want to say that's exactly how I feel right now. but in a
ABS
great
kit.
way.
Thank you for the sub.
It's
Jack.
this
Thank you for
skin
the
is
sub.
really something. You know?
What is it? Is it a new skin?
It's something that exists for us.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. This is like a really troll skin, which is up my alley.
It's perfect.
Reminds me of the hot dog stuff, you know?
It does, yeah, it's a little bit hot dog
Yeah, in a
Odin-like. It's a
similar
little bit
way.
out there. I'm sure you guys were not expecting horsing around Chiron.
Oh
because
yeah,
how
I
could
forgot
you
about
have?
seeing this on the leaks. This
It's in
skin
the
is sick.
costume chest. I don't know what our official story is with horsing around with Chiron, and I'm not going to say anything in danger of getting in trouble. But it's what do I say about
Hey,
this?
so he's
man?
gonna have
Wait
normal
for it to,
legs,
like,
right?
To be popping Centaurus, just hitting me away while looking like this, like.
It's so
This
it's
is
everything
be
about
the
it.
best Chiron
Animations
skin.
are so good with the skin. Like the head flops around a little bit.
The voice pack is unbelievable.
Great job to the modeling team.
Yeah, this model
Oh
is
yeah,
absolutely
dude! It shoots
fantastic.
plungers. Let's fucking go.
Holy cow.
I think it comes with
Holy
the
horse.
VXG as
Holy
well.
horses.
Yeah, right. Holy horse. Right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have a voice line to play?
The back
in
legs
this?
just kind of wobble
Sometimes we
around
do.
because they're not real people in real legs.
Yeehaw! Where's the party at?
Just wait. Just wait until you
I
get your
get
hands
it.
on
He's
this.
trying to be the centaur of attention, all right? But
No more?
Did
No,
you
it's
write
hard-
this one?
No, I
Lemmy?
did not write this one. This is Tina.
This is a
You know
Tina.
what?
I was gonna say.
Tina all
this
over
is a
it.
I feel like the
Tina.
voice
Absolutely,
kind of doesn't match
100%.
up.
Okay, so that's in the costume chest, horsing around Chiron, coming at you with 9.5. We also have the Heavenly Light event, of course, and we've got a couple of skins coming to you through that Heavenly Light event. The first one is going to be Dark Apprentice Apollo, which is a skin that
I wanted to
looks
see those autos.
really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a bit of a different look for Apollo, but one that, for a god who's been around since the very dawn of time, it was the god that I started playing on the closed beta Conquest
yeah?
map.
Okay.
It was. Having a new look in season 9 is really cool.
Yeah, this guy's a bit of an edgelord. He's got a little backstory to him where, you know, he was this goody two-shoes sorcerer's apprentice once upon a time, but
Yeah, Apollo's
he
already
wanted
got
a little
other
more
skins.
power, so he turned to the dark side, and now here he is with all of his evilness and glory. And you better bow down because he will be flying on over to your lane and smacking you with a bit of dark magic if you're not careful.
You can tell he's evil because that's an evil harp. On
I
it.
was gonna say, that's it, you know.
That's the only
tone.
thing.
That's the tell.
the
It's hard to
one
say
thing.
otherwise. Yeah, it's just that harp. Let's take a listen real quick to him.
I am the master of the dark arts.
There you go. He's the
Straight
master of the
to the
dark
point,
arts.
you know?
Yep. This man knows what he wants. Next up is Mystic Flare Pele. Again, I'm a Pele stan, as I've said like 30 times on this patch note show already somehow. And now she's coming at you with a more energized
Definitely
look here.
charging at you there,
Yeah, that's what you see right before you take your entire health bar and die. Except now I have 200 extra HP thanks to the TTK change.
Go.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
I really love this skin. We've tested with it a lot, and I think it looks really awesome.
Yeah, it has some great extra visual effects treatments as well. So you see her base model there, but when she ults, she actually has wings of fire coming out of her back. So it's just a really sick look for this new take on the Mystic skins.
Yeah, love the Mystic skins, of course. I think we have a voice line for her as well.
Cry for help. Fear not. The mystical maiden Pele is here.
Here she is, and you don't have to fear anymore. Thank you, Pele. Next up is Necro Alchemist Vulcan. Alchemy is not enough for him.
What the
Nor
fuck?
messing with the dead.
No, please be good in game.
Dude, I haven't seen this card art yet. That is
Please be good in
absolutely-
game.
That is
Imagine you're this guy in the front right here, and this skeleton thing on Vulcan's back is pointing at you. He's like, yeah, you. That'd
Get
be,
that guy. It's like, what?
yeah,
No,
this
no,
one
no.
in particular. Like, oh my God, not me, man, not me.
sick.
Yeah, this skin is unsettling in a very cool way.
All right, that is actually
Unbelievable.
See,
fucking
people
dope.
think like sometimes we come to this show like we've seen this before. Sometimes we have something. I haven't seen this. This
I
is
haven't seen it
amazing.
either.
That's pretty sick.
That is
And I'm not just showing.
absolutely
That
awesome.
not the fucking Chiron
Look
skin
at the
are
boys.
really
they're
fucking
like
good.
they're ready to do the YMCA up there. I feel like, you know, their hands
I
are
love
kind of.
the upper chest area, the material that's over there.
Yep.
His hair and his eyes just creepy as hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra.
That's the
effort
kind of
there.
hair I'd put on my
Went
World of
through all those
Warcraft characters every
secondaries.
time.
Vulcan
Same
typically has
color,
that,
same
like,
style
rocket
too.
boosted backpack, but no,
Right.
those are like actual like torsos on his back.
That's
now,
sick.
so
Yeah, who
gotta
needs
be
rockets
looking
when you
cool
can
with that.
cut a person in half and stick them on your back like that? That's like that's way better, right? Let's listen to the voice pack here. I'm sure it's very kind.
My abominations are at your command.
This one's fine with
Like I said,
echoes.
seems like a really nice
I wish
guy.
the little dudes in the back
and
talked.
Last but
This
not
skin
least,
compared to
in the
that
Heavenly Light
Pele
event
skin
is going to be Aquatic Nightmare
Insane.
Ra. You know, I'm sensing a theme for a lot of these. Pele's the only one who's nice. She's got her work cut out for
What
her,
do you
man.
mean?
I
You
mean,
just said Vulcan was a nice guy.
well, I was kind of being facetious there, Laramie. I don't know how to break it to you. Aquatic Nightmare Ra is truly a bit of a nightmare when you like. This thing is absolute nightmare fuel with how it looks, but it's such a new and different look for Ra that is going to be awesome. I think we actually get to see this one in game. I hope because it is.
Oh wow.
It is something.
Holy fuck.
He's got like part crab, part
Wait, what the
squid,
fuck?
part,
Why is this so good?
diver, like with that,
Why
like,
is this so
helmet
good?
that
Why are
looks
these
like
two
a mind
skins
up.
so good out of nowhere?
Yeah, we do get to
Bro,
go
whoever
in
made
game
these two
here with
skins needs to
Aquatic
be in
Nightmare
charge of
Ra.
all the
I'm excited
skins.
to see how he's moving around. You know, the whole.
Yeah, that's a good skin,
It
dude.
is-
What
it
the
is
fuck?
creepy, man. Okay, why are crab
Even
legs
the
creepy
autos are
when
really
they're
good. I
like
like
this?
this.
Like they don't.
Well,
they're kind of like spider legs.
Oh,
Not really
shit!
like, you know, the normal
What
way
the
that crab
fuck?
legs
No.
look. They're kind of a.
Oh, it's an anchor.
Oh my goodness, that's like the
Dude,
pencil
that
from
is
before,
so
but they,
cool.
It's just so much creepier. He's
What?
dragging
Okay,
the
this is
anchor
a
across the, like, surely that
badass
hurts a
skin.
lot
What the
more than getting
fuck? I
blasted
like the
by
colors too.
I mean,
It's usually bright
I'm
as
really
shit.
pale, Lermy. A little bit of sun does a lot of harm to me.
Okay,
oh,
this
look
is
at the
dope.
lines. That's so sick.
Let's see
Oh,
the
they're
alt.
there
When they
too?
float.
Is the
Oh
alt
my
water?
God,
Is
that's
it?
awesome.
Yeah,
What is it?
I have not seen this one in game at all. I've only seen
Wait, what?
the card art.
Hold on, the alt doesn't match.
So awesome. The
Okay, it's
little
not bad,
red
but it doesn't
line
match.
for the alt.
Why is the alt the worst ability?
Ladies on my account, no. It looked like
The other abilities are sick. The alt is definitely low tier compared to this.
That is good stuff. Aquatic Nightmare Ra, absolutely amazing
Oh,
skin
and that
coming
backing.
at you with the Heavenly Light event here in the 9.5
I was sure it was gonna be just like a
update.
water fucking alt.
Let's go to the bonus skins because of course that's not the only skins we're gonna have with the 9.5 update. Oh yeah, do you want to do a little voice pack work? Sorry about that. Go ahead and give us the voice a little bit if you could.
You have done well. I am the terror of the deep.
That is awesome. That's
Definitely,
super stoked.
Gives that drowned sailor vibe, but like he is just gonna
Hard to
have
think of the
down
7
and
months.
kick
Why
it
is her
with
mic
it.
cracking so much?
Drowned
Laramie's
sailor
mic
plus
they have on her is
squid
dog
plus
shit.
Crab.
Every time she talks, it has terrible cracking.
Definitely terrifying. Okay, for the 9.5 bonus
A big
skins, which will be
cheese.
live on May 31st, so a few weeks after the
you for the sub,
9.5
cheese.
actual patch goes live. As part of the Heavenly Light event, we'll have Glaive Tech Kornos in that bonus patch. He's definitely not as spooky as the earlier Heavenly Light skins, but very, very cool. Kornos, always one of those characters that I love to see how the changing of seasons
Yeah, I was just
Oh
thinking
yeah.
that.
ends up working with
hexagonal power
with their
orange
skins, and yeah, I think that you can take a pretty good guess on what's going
The
to happen.
colors are
whenever
gonna
these changing
change.
stances,
Yeah, on all of that
Oh, the
shit.
Robo Dog. Did
Oh,
you say
that's
pig?
amazing. Isn't it a pig? He turns them into boars.
Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah,
Pigs
sure.
for skin.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, who knows what they are? It's
dog.
a little Robo
a-
guy. Okay, that is definitely more of a dog tail than a pig
Oh,
tail.
I mean, yes.
It's
but
not
how do you make?
squiggly.
You're making a curl out of metal. I mean, that's kind of hard.
Well,
know,
do
you're
you see
asking
the they could use he's got the blue stuff if he wanted it to have
Blue
a squiggly.
stuff.
Why we're not modelers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very, very true. Let's take a listen to the voice back here real quick.
Mechanized Kornos, ready for battle.
With my dog. That's weird. You guys hear him say that?
Yeah, I'm sure I heard him say that.
And as well in the Heavenly Light event, we have Afrofuture Olaron, which is just an awesome skin, man. Olaron
This seems-
has no right to have this many good skins, dude. Like,
What do you, he has absolute right. He's like the
He-
divine ruler.
yeah, okay, I guess you're right. Like, but all of his skins are absolute gas. Like, every single one of them is just so cool. And Afrofuture Olaron is just the next in a
He's just
long line.
styling, dude. Like,
Yeah, I think this
I
looks
love all
really
the
awesome.
patterns and the colors in this, like the teal, turquoisey,
Yeah.
like main accent color. That's such a sick look on him.
I just like the theme difference. as
Get
well,
her a
like,
different
his
mic,
nobility
please. It
into,
sounds so
like,
bad.
Mechanized, right? Because it's the mixing of those two
Right.
kind of ideas.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Super cool in game. I can't wait to see the effects for this skin. I'm sure that's going to be absolutely awesome. His skin effects are always great. Super excited about Afrofuture Olaron. Let's take a listen to the voice pack.
Don't forget about those prime subs. The kingdom will be fine without me. I gotta get in on this action and try out my new tech.
It will be fun to see your new tech Afrofuture all around. I agree. And then in 9.5 bonus skins section, we also have the Sea Being chest, including a brand new fluorescent friend Ganesh. He's
got an aquarium
intimidates
inside
me
of him.
a little bit, but at the same time, he does look very nice. You know, he looks nicer than
Raise, you better be
Vulcan
using this
at the very
skin,
least,
bro.
The Necro Alchemist Vulcan. That's
And
a
it's
low bar.
not even close. But yeah, so we had the take on the scary sea being, and now we've got a little bit friendlier, more benevolent. I mean,
Bro,
Ganesh certainly
please,
isn't
I
gonna steal
cannot
any of
stand
your
her
kills,
mic,
right?
dude.
Not with that look.
No,
I actually
certainly
can't.
not.
Just tell her
And
that, if you
definitely
can't
something
fix
a
it,
little
just tell her to
bit
stop
new
talking.
for him with these hands.
I can't stand the mic.
His upper hands, they're just floating.
I love this one.
They're
This is
just hanging out.
I hadn't seen this one either, and just like I love just like the way the modelers approach this. The concept art is probably.
Bro, he needs to hit leg day a little bit.
Oh, and kind of throwback to the Ymir skin with the like aquarium. in
His
the
eyes
tummy.
are
Yeah.
Kinda
fucking
deal there.
creepy, dude.
So sick looking.
Yeah, very colorful, very bright. No one's missing you when you're playing this skin. This is what you need on the classic Conquest beta map, where so people can actually see you.
Yeah, you tell your teammates to look for the bright yellow elephant running
Yeah,
down the lane.
yeah. Run to the traffic cone. That's where you'll be. You're a nice beacon for your whole team. Let's listen to the voice back here for fluorescent friend Ganesh.
Professor Trench from the Undersea Institute.
He's a professor.
He is a professor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. Apologies,
smart
Mr.
friend.
Professor Ganesh. You're
Dr. Professor Ganesh.
Dr. Professor, sir. That's good work for him. Again, those two skins, Kornos and Olaron,
Yeah,
are
his
in the Heavenly
nose-
Light event for 9.5 bonus
Since
skins.
that's not
and
a trunk,
this
apparently, is
fluorescent
a
friend
little
Ganesh,
weird.
which is absolutely awesome. Coming out in the Sea Being chest. All three of those skins will be
Very,
live May 31st. So mark your calendars for that. We
esque.
also have a new Prime Gaming skin. Remember when I teased you earlier about it? It was because I was getting a little excited, getting you primed up. For Happy Little Painter Jean-Qui. Happy Little Painter Jean-Qui.
Wait, another one?
He looks
The
so
fuck?
familiar, guys. Where have I seen someone like Happy Little Painter Jean-Qui
Are
before?
you sure that's not Sylvanas?
It
Pops off of
could be. It could be. This is, I mean, obviously super exciting to be in conjunction again with Bob Ross Incorporated. I mean, just this skin is absurd. Like, it's so awesome. I cannot believe that we were able to do this. Oh, he's got a little painting. I haven't seen that part.
Oh, that's
cool.
so fun.
I saw the front. I didn't see the painting hanging in the back. That is absolutely awesome. Again, Bob Ross giveaway. We are planning a cool giveaway around this skin, so keep an eye on our social channels for more details as we get closer to its launch. The Happy Little Painter Jean-Qui will be launching June 2nd, so a little bit later
It's a big
than
boy.
the other skins, but again, this is through Prime Gaming. We can take a listen. I think we do have one little voice line here for this skin.
This is a happy place. Little squirrels live here and play.
Just amazing. Wait until you see the effects on the skin as well. I mean, it's just so much fun. Again, June 2nd, so make sure you're keeping an eye on our social channels as we are planning a cool little giveaway. And AJ has returned. Welcome back, AJ. So did you see Lermy miss that raw snipe earlier?
That was me.
Did you see Lermy miss
I
that?
was playing on Lermy's controls, and she had like
AJ, that's account sharing.
two of the abilities on Instacast, and one of the other one on another letter, and I was like, what is going on here? But I managed to hit the Odins most of the time, so I showed off the anchor. That's what matters.
That is what matters. It was good work. All right, let's talk about the headliner, if you will, of our show, and that's the Smite Slipknot event. Just unbelievably excited.
I
to be
hope
partnering
the
with
animations
Slipknot to have some
are really
Slipknot
good for
skins.
these
We got a
skins.
quick little teaser video
I
to show
really
you
hope
where we
they
break
are.
down some of the details.
I feel like I gotta mute this. I'm like pretty confident I gotta mute this. I'm like 1,000% because I'm not getting this video edited. So I have to mute this. Because it's gonna get DMCA'd 100%. I have to mute this. And if that little section gets DMCA'd, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. If that 3 seconds mute and edit, this video is going right up. It's an hour and a half long video. There's a 2-hour video. This is gonna take an hour to upload to YouTube, like to process for YouTube.
That's right. The Slipknot Smite crossover is here. Just so
Rogue,
so
that's
excited.
gone. There's no such thing
what
as
an
fair
amazing
use
job,
30-second
all the
shit
teams did
anymore.
on these skins in
Absolutely.
particular. I mean, from visual to audio, everything is amazing.
Yeah, these things are hard to pull off. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of complications, a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, a lot of people working really hard. Music licensing deals even more complicated than
Always difficult.
shows and other IPs. It's really great. But this is a legendary music group here.
My ears.
One of the greatest of all
Many
time.
people know very well.
But
We
yeah,
know
is his
from-
mic? Yeah, his mic
for a
is
fact
on, right?
that A lot of Smite
It's
players
just
are
dog
fans of
shit.
This group here.
Yep.
Their visuals, their sound is just amazing. Slipknot does something really super unique. No
Yep.
one else quite does it like that.
Yep.
I gotta also shout out to our audio team specifically.
100%.
I think even before we talk about Slipknot, audio just as game dev is extremely important to the experience. How many video game OSTs do you listen to when you're not playing games?
All the time.
How good do Dark Souls abilities feel because of those sounds, right?
Yep.
How amazing is a Smite game because you heard something over the back of your head and you juked to the left and that raw ability went right. Like audio design is so important.
Yep.
As you both know as designers, you make a new ability, it can feel good.
We're
You know,
talking
times
about
there, part of
audio
there, it can
as
feel-
the audio is
you get that
dog
audio
shit.
in there, it goes up a huge amount. So huge shout out to our entire audio team has been working with us for many
They
years.
fixed
and,
it.
Working really hard on the game.
No, but still popping.
Specific shout out to a
Fixed it,
dev
kind
named
of, but
Kellen.
it's still popping.
Yeah, AJ, I actually got to steal it from you. Unfortunately, speaking about how important sound is and how awesome it is, we're having a little bit of trouble with yours. That's ironic. That's,
Wow, that's I was
that is
off
a little bit
camera for a while,
unfortunate.
so maybe I knocked it.
But I do want to share a note from Kellen, the audio lead on Smite, who, of course, as AJ was saying, I don't know if you could hear him super well, but it was just so important how big this audio stuff was and how important it was for this crossover in particular. And Kellen wanted to share this note. He is, again, Smite's audio lead. He says, and I quote, "I really wish I could have been here today to share my excitement for this collaboration. As a fan of Slipknot for over 22 years, it was surreal to have the opportunity to work directly with Slipknot to bring them and their music into Smite. This was a passion project for us. This was a massive passion project for us, excuse me. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Slipknot and their team, as well as the Smite devs who went all in on this project and trusted me to give my input. This was a career highlight, and I'm so excited for everyone to jam some Slipknot in Smite." And that is from Kellen, again, the Smite audio lead. Unfortunately, he was feeling a little under the weather, so couldn't be here for this update show. But man, I mean, to be a fan of a group like Slipknot for 22 years and now have that type of
I've
opportunity.
been listening to them since the first album too,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
And, they've come and gone from my listening tastes, but I've been, we were talking about this yesterday, how much Slipknot we've been listening to again.
It's insane.
To get ready for this, and it's all so good. Yeah. And Kellen is our audio lead on the team all the time, but he also served as more of a creative director over the entire Slipknot project, focusing on the audio, the abilities, the music, as well as making sure we got the brand's overall tone and theme right, making sure the characters looked up to the detail.
I literally don't care about the audio at all. I just hope the ability, the character, or the
as
characters,
AJ
the
said,
skins have cool abilities.
When I knew this
That's
crossover was
all I
happening, I
hope.
got an opportunity to write some voice packs for the Raijin skins. I was like, yeah, Slipknot's like, they're cool, I like them. But I wanted to really dive in order to get a better understanding. And now, like, I just haven't been listening to anything else. There's so much, like, I mean, 20 plus years of great music to really dive into. So overall, just want to give some overall details here. Slipknot is always a top band that comes back whenever we survey Smite players about their interests, and it's just an unbelievable dream come true to have incorporate a legendary group such as Slipknot into the battleground of Smite. This is an event that has 9 skins and 2 cosmetic packs that are available for direct purchase or via a roll of the brand new Slipknot chest. Worth
Wait,
noting
so
that
it
this
is
chest
okay,
will be
yeah.
discounted.
This is
for
what I was
2
worried
weeks.
about.
And that's in addition to the music.
There's no way this
in
does
addition,
well.
The event consists
There's just
of the
no
9
way.
skins and the 2 cosmetic packs, but you participate in the event to unlock the music theme, which plays Slipknot music while you play Smite, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But obviously, that's a super high.
While you play what?
Asset for this crossover.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the last few weeks with an extra app on the side. Now I don't have to even have it open. I can just have it all through Smite. On the note of voice actors, we did have the pleasure of working with Alessandro Venturella and Michael Pfaff to have them record their own voice packs. We did work with Slipknot in order to approve the sound alikes for the rest. Slipknot is currently and has been throughout this whole process on tour. So the band was somewhat limited with what they could provide with their busy schedule. So obviously we would have loved to have everyone be able to voice their own skins, but with how busy the group is, we were really excited to be able to grab Alessandro and Michael in order to have them record their own voice.
And
packs.
many high-res devs actually went to Knotfest Atlanta not that long ago.
Yeah.
And heard it was amazing.
Oh, I wish I could have gone.
Me too.
That would really have been awesome.
No, you don't.
And then
He's
for
lying, bro.
some
You're
specifics,
lying,
in typical
Aggro.
Slipknot fashion,
You lied.
Clown went above and beyond by recording a library of sounds that we incorporated into each skin. So AJ, you were telling me about this right before the show.
Yeah, so not only do we have the music of Slipknot, we actually have sound design of other sound effects that are going to go into those characters that were also designed by Clown himself from the band. So really awesome, really glad that Kellen could work so closely with the team there to bring these characters to life and make sure their abilities just sound awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a really cool new way to do something, a crossover like this, to have the event is part of it, and to have, with a group as large as Slipknot is, to be able to incorporate all these different members.
Right.
So the skins are for 3 different gods, and each god
Can we
has
just show
3
them?
different
We've been talking
variations
about this for
of the
way too
skin
long.
for each of the members.
These
So
are
let's start
skins.
off with Chalk. Chalk will have 3 skins, just like everyone else, like I just said. Mick Thompson as Chalk, Jim Root as Chalk, and Alessandro Venturella as Chalk. And I think we have a look at some of these card arts.
First of all, this piece of art is amazing.
Absolutely awesome.
I love this one.
Yeah.
I hope Slipknot fans all over can enjoy this, even if they have no intention of playing Smite, whatever, that's okay. I hope they enjoy this specific piece because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge challenge to incorporate 9 different characters into one single piece of art that can also be broken down into card arts and icons and all those other beautiful assets that will be going into the game for Slipknot. So huge, huge props to the team for making such an amazing piece of art.
It's absolutely great. And we do have actually a view of some of these skins in game. So let's jump straight to that actually here for the Slipknot and Smite crossover. Again, Mick Thompson, I think, should be this first one here, as well as Jim Root and Alessandro
One thing I'll say
Venturella
is
for the
these
Chalk
fit
skins.
well into the game, I think.
It's just like
if this was
the
just a
weight
Chalk
of
skin,
Chalk
no
and, like,
connection,
how
it would be like a
intense his
pretty
animations
okay
are
skin.
and the ultimate and all that kind of stuff. I think it's such a great combination.
Right, so these skins are also themed to the musical discipline of the various band members. So Jim Root and Mick Thompson are guitarists, and Alessandro is the bass. And actually, the audio design is also unique for the Alessandro skin. Sounds more like bass when he uses his abilities, whereas the other two sound more specifically like Jim and Mick's guitars.
Oh, that's really
You're also
awesome.
going to see, their iconic masks are key differences between every unique skin, and there's a lot of changes to the overall outfit and the modeling of each skin. Even though it's 3 Chalk skins, they all have a very different look to them, and they all stay true to those Slipknot aesthetics and music.
Absolutely. Do we have a voice? I believe we should have voice lines for some of these as well, but if not, we can just keep on rolling as we head to Jim Root here on this. I mean, having the detail on the 2 guitarists with their guitars, having the sound effects for them, and then Alessandro's bass, I think is really just kicking it up to the next notch and feeling really, really cool.
Yeah, I just love the design in general. Like, you'll also see some small details between their outfits being different, like aside from their very iconic masks. They've got a couple of different changes between, the specific getups, their specific weapons of choice, or musical instruments of choice.
Just cycle through them, bro. There's 9 skins, and this isn't interesting enough to be talking about.
They look incredible.
Yeah, Jim's jacket here is very different than the Mick one.
Oh, very different?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we do have a voice
very
line here for
different.
Jim Root's skin, so let's take a listen.
Make some noise.
We're going to be making
a lot of noise.
A ton of
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have Alessandro Venturella, a variation of the Chalk skin. Again, much more bassy here for this one, as he is a bass player as opposed to Jim and Mick. I believe we should have a voice line for Alessandro as well.
My heart is just too dark to care.
Absolutely love it. Again, Alessandro actually able to voice his own skin, which I'm sure was very exciting for him as well. Let's head on over then to the next batch of skins, if you will, here. I believe Raijin is up next, and then we should be leading with Michael Pfaff on the Raijin skin. And very much like the differences in the Chalk skins, there will be differences here as well, not just the masks, but in the outfits and the types of drums that they play. Both Clown and Michael Pfaff's drums are going to sound more like their percussion instruments, where Jay Weinberg's drum sounds more like a traditional drum set. So again, that attention to detail.
And to me, Slipknot is, I mean, they have a lot of iconic sounds, but those drums are just legendary.
Yep.
And they have always been well known for putting on an amazing show and putting those drums really, front and center so you can see and feel them. And Raijin is a perfect character for this because he's got these drums that are big and different and show off a lot of this aesthetic.
Yep.
You also see there the Raiju reskinned to a little maggot buddy who is that's a motif across Slipknot music and their branding and their fans referring to themselves affectionately as the maggots.
Absolutely love it. Super cool. Let's listen to the voice line here for Michael Pfaff.
The only thing scarier than a man with nothing to lose is a god with nothing to lose.
Super cool that Michael was able to record his own voice.
Yeah, very
lines
grateful
as well.
for him to take the time for that.
Yep, absolutely awesome. Next up is Jay Weinberg
Very cool.
as Raijin, and again, you're going to see some subtle differences there, and Jay's drums will sound a little bit different, but I mean, just having the iconic mask for each of these members, absolutely perfect.
I don't think I'm going to buy any of these
voice
skins, bro, and I have every skin in the game.
We are not your kind of gods.
This is extremely
Obviously, a lot of these
underwhelming.
voice lines heavily inspired by the music.
Oh,
and the
we
Gives
lyrics.
off like nobody actually cared
Nice
vibes.
note there, Andre.
Thank you.
And kinda
You
like,
think I wouldn't notice? I did do the Raijin
a
skins,
money
is all I'm
grab.
saying.
You think I don't listen?
And then
Feels like a
Clown
money
Raijin,
grab,
of
and I've
course,
never
last
felt
one.
like that with Smite before, ever.
And additional shout outs to Clown.
This
who
is
was the
weird.
Creative consultant from Slipknot, who we did a lot of our direct conversations
This is very
with.
weird.
He was a really big help in guiding us throughout the process, approving our direction, giving us notes on things, and just an all-around amazing individual to work with. The group as a whole is so iconic, and they work together so well with all of their visuals and sounds and the whole production.
Nobody's
of
saying
their
the
shows
skins
and the experience that Slipknot brings
need to be
and
different.
we really
Like,
wanted to
obviously
make sure
they're
we
gonna
got that
look
right, so
like
it was
their
very good to
characters
have
in the
guide
band, but
along the way.
everyone
Clown,
is the
absolutely
same.
one of the goats.
voice
and,
packs are
and also helping
underwhelming.
us out, along the way, which is awesome. Let's take a listen
And there's
to his
no,
voice pack.
like I said, unless the abilities are crazy looking, these are
your hands in the air.
Super excited to get everyone a chance
I don't
to
know.
take on Raijin as well as Poseidon. A little bit more of the vocal elements here with the iconic Corey Taylor and Craig Jones and Sid Wilson. I mean, just an unbelievable group across the board, of course. And we're going to start with Sid Wilson, Poseidon, for these Poseidon skins. You saw the Raiju transformed into the maggot. Well, you'll see it here in
we
these
got the
skins
Kraken
as well.
too.
Yep, it's absolutely there in the Kraken. Let's take a listen to Sid Wilson's voice pack.
Does my mask scare you? Does it make you squirm?
It kind of does. Yeah.
It sounds like that was intended.
A little bit.
And yeah, the Slipknot music, they have these very unique elements to their music as well. So you see here we have like the turntables and the samples, which I feel like is often kind of underrated when people who don't listen to them a lot.
Right.
They like every band member has this really unique sound that all comes together really well. And those extra sounds provided by are these different and unique sounds that are provided by the samples and the turntable are super important to Slipknot's iconic sound.
I honestly
100%.
think
I mean, Sid
music
Wilson's
in
abilities will
general
have
for
that
a skin
turntable
base
element, as
is
you mentioned,
too
and the next one up, Craig Jones, will have
too
some of those
diverse,
samples as well.
like,
So very
I
sticking
don't know,
to
it doesn't
what
work well with a player
the
base.
expertise that all these group members have.
This one looks so cool too.
Yeah, just one of those iconic mask setups for sure. Let's take a listen to Craig Jones. That is what Craig Jones is sounding like.
Yeah,
Exactly. His is unique. So Craig typically not as vocal as the other ones, literally.
He doesn't talk or something,
grunts and
right?
that kind of stuff. So I think his whole voice pack is nothing but
It's just a camo
grunts.
skin, bro.
If that's what he wanted, then
Yep.
so it shall be.
Yep. Definitely staying
from
true
the
to
neck
Craig
up,
there.
B
And then Corey
skin
Taylor,
from
of
the
course,
neck down.
is Poseidon. His abilities will have
Boring.
crowd and vocal elements, whereas, as we mentioned, Sid's will have turntable elements.
Look at his eyes.
And Craig has the samples. Corey Taylor, the iconic Corey Taylor
just
with
saw-
that abilities having crowd
He
and
just
vocal
saw the
elements.
Smite game Cerberus smiting Freya's pussy tweet. And those are his eyes.
Ready for this?
We are ready.
We sure are.
We definitely are.
So those are all 9 Slipknot skins. Again, so excited to have them. They all will also have headbanging VXG with music, of course,
Special emotes, right?
which rotates between 3 full-length versions of Slipknot songs.
You can play the
Full-length?
full-length
That's
song while
crazy.
emoting around the battleground.
Great.
If anyone interrupts me
Mute it.
in the middle of duality, we're gonna have
Here
problems.
we go. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is
yeah.
it.
Yeah, we need a mode where you could have 9 gods on the same team, just so we can make them all do this
On
pulse
all
together.
out.
So wait,
modes.
there's
Oh,
9 of them in the band.
We could do it that
Slipknot
way.
is
There you go. We've
a
already found our
9-person
solution. Good work,
band.
AJ. So yeah, 3 full-length versions of
How
Slipknot
the
songs
fuck
with these VXGs. So
you
it's
start a
Duality,
9-person
Psychosocial,
band?
and Devil and I. Very hard to pick songs that wouldn't
That's
be absolutely
insane.
amazing, but
Right. It was really. I remember the Slack chat of us trying to discuss like which songs we wanted, and it was so
That would
hard.
be
to
so
narrow them down, but
difficult.
they're all
Holy
amazing, and
shit,
these
that's
3
crazy.
are extremely iconic from different albums as well. So. If you're a fan of Slipknot over the years, you'll get to hear those different hits.
I won't hear shit 'cause it's
these are
gonna be
also the
muted
songs that are used in
forever.
the music theme,
Yep.
as well as the lobby sound effects when you just go to look at the event. You'll be able
Right.
to hear. You will hear full-length versions of Duality, Psychosocial, or Devil and I rotate through while you are in the Smite client and in the Smite game, which is just unbelievable to me.
Yeah, in my 5-minute rank queues, I will be idling on this screen for a little bit. I mean, these songs are just bangers. Absolutely
Yeah.
There's
amazing.
20
they're
total
great. Let's
members
go
of
in
Slipknot.
game real
Holy
quick
shit.
to see a little bit more here, because there are some extra profile cosmetics, of course.
I gotta-
You've got a
I gotta
jump
make sure
stamp
if I gotta mute
coming
something,
from
I can
and
mute
a
it in time.
recall skin. Both
Which I
are-
previewed a little of the recall earlier when I was playing Raw.
Oh, true.
It was
you
already
did.
equipped.
That was nice.
It
nice
looks
little teaser.
sick.
Yeah, I mean, everything is just awesome. We can run through the chalk, again, the Jim Root, Mick Thompson, or Alessandro Venturella effects here for the chalk skin, but you get a lot of good stuff coming from all of these. I didn't even know that we had them ready to go in game, so I would have gotten here earlier. I apologize, everybody.
Oh my gosh, that spin's insane. It's got the flames on the guitar itself. That is so sick.
Yeah.
And I love
Blood
the
rain.
Slipknot symbolism and all the abilities. Looks
Yep.
really cool. And it fits Smite so well.
Yep, it really does. It's definitely fits in with the general motifs, but bringing that extra spin to it. And then there's the ultimate, which
Oh,
just
man.
looks absolutely awesome.
And it sounds awesome too.
They have such a unique artistic style to everything they do, even outside their
The
music.
thing I
that
think is the
I
coolest
think
about
is
this
really,
is the sounds
a
with
video
like
game developers
the
and players
fucking
really
guitar
appreciate that
autos
attention
and
to
the
detail
ult.
and consistency.
Outside
and
of that,
symbolism
it's
in your
really,
tone
really basic.
And just staying true to yourself.
And
your
I
fans.
said the abilities had to be
It looks great,
nuts
dude.
because
Yeah,
all
like
these skins are the
stage
exact
breaking
same.
apart on this ultimate is so cool. Chalk Ult is just one of my favorite ults in the game.
That's
but
not the audio being
these
weird.
skins
That's
definitely
the
take
audio
it
it's making
to
when he
the
lands
next
on auto
level.
or when he ults.
No doubt about that. And oh yeah, I already mentioned that you get the VXG with the headbanging. Can we?
Oh yeah. Well, we're
Wait,
getting.
what? Hold on, do I
Yeah,
gotta
we
mute
get
this?
we get the front end here. This is Alessandro's skin. Oh, I didn't notice the stuff on the neck of the base there for the skin. You get some little markings down the neck. That's very cool.
If Kellen was here, he would tell us the musical significance of that.
I'm sure.
I'm sorry
yeah, I'm sure he'd have
that
it.
we don't have that degree of expertise. But here's the emote, the special emote that brings the stage and the animation and the song.
That's cool.
Just awesome. Can't wait to be rocking out with all my Slipknot boys.
Whoop, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa! Iris, come on, whoa, whoa, relax.
I think that's
Oh, come on! I thought it was over. Whoa, Iris, you can't be doing this shit, bro. Come on. Whoa. All right, end it, please. Turn it off. Turn it the fuck off. We get it. It's over. Come on. There it is. Oh, fuck.
absolutely great. Are we going next to Poseidon skin or?
Oh yeah, he looks like he's got some commands
got it.
queued
Yeah.
up.
Now
There we go. He's got it.
Yep.
Let's go, Clumsy. You can do it. Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
Putting in those dev commands on the fly is harder than it looks.
I swear, whenever like Clumsy or Lermy is like watching me do it, it takes me twice as long. I'm like, why am I messing up so much? Clown Raijin. These effects are just
Every basic
flawless.
attack has the symbol.
Yep.
Oh, and the passive lights up the drums as well. That's so cool.
Sounds cool for
That
that.
is really sick. And again, all of the all of the different Raijin skins can have some different sound effects. There's the maggot, as Raiju as the maggot, jumping from one to the other. That icon,
nice,
looking awesome. So yeah, Clown and Michael Pfaff's drum sounds are tuned to sound like their percussion instruments, but Jay Weinberg's drums are going to sound more like a traditional drum set. So that's a really cool little attention to detail that you got to play a couple Raijin games.
Oh, that's sick. Oh, and the different colors too. Oh, bye, Odin. We'll see you later, bud.
Oh no, come back.
Save him.
He's gonna stop him.
We got him.
Nice save. Nice save, Clumsy. He's good at this game.
That's so sick, dude. I cannot wait to be playing Raijin in mid.
Just look. I feel like I've just said it a million times, but it's really true.
Whoa! 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 What is Hyra's doing? Whoa! There's no way they're showing every skin here, right? They're just throwing the 3 bases. They have to be. Wait, it's the same global emote.
It's an art form that is ancient and still extremely moving and impactful, and it's just awesome to have that represented in Smite.
And here, of course, is the
Wait,
Corey
he's just
Taylor
on the
Poseidon
emote.
skin. As we went over with the Poseidon skins, depending on
Poseidon
which one you
just
choose,
has
you'll
the
have some
same as the
different sound
emote,
effects
same stage.
alongside your abilities. With Corey's, it's going to have the crowd and vocal elements. With Sid Wilson, it'll have the turntable, and Craig Jones will have those samples that all these members are so known for.
I can't wait to hear the crowd cheer as I miss a Kraken.
Yeah, that's,
or hit a Kraken. I'm sorry, that's not.
It's just like being on the world stage. You know, you miss your Kraken, and some people.
Poseidon is one of those gods that even though I've practiced for quite a while, I still don't feel like I ever get that good with.
All right,
it.
that one is cool.
A good mage player, but
The one is the only cool thing I've seen so far on these, out of everything.
Poseidon is a great god.
Dude, the
The
oil
one is
barrel,
sick.
so.
That is a
so cool
beer barrel. I believe.
beer barrel. Oh,
that
at
one
a
is
specific
sick.
request, working with the band to make sure we showed off some side of them, just as humans too, right? They're just they're hardworking humans that make awesome music, but then they
Way to go, Woody, you fucked it up.
after hours too, and they have a good time both when they're on work and off work.
Yeah, that is really great. I mean, these guys are absolute rock legends, but also just dudes who have worked hard to get there. So
yeah, and they really have, for so many years. And there was a recent post that was getting popular again, showing them initial performance on like Late Night Conan.
I watched
way
that,
back
yeah.
in the day, which was awesome.
You just say a bunch of 400 gem skins are worse than these? I don't agree at all. I got it. This was way too long to cover these skins. This is their pitch, trying to get you to buy this shit. In Smite, you can turn off DMCA audio. It's just a little checkbox. My shit's already off. I think my thing is the fact that if these are all 200 to 400 gold or gems each, and there's 9 of them, that's a little bit much to me. I don't know.
Obtain 3 Slipknot event items, you get the Slipknot music pack. So the music pack,
Which you're definitely going to want to get.
You need to get it, man. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The music is the whole point, right? That's why we're all here for Slipknot is for that music. So it will feature variations for each music event, which is a first for Smite, and there are 3 different pieces of music for the intro, player kill, and things like that.
Yeah, so a usual music theme has like the same intro every time.
Right.
The Slipknot music theme has multiple various intros, sampled from the different songs and stuff like that. So that same is true for kills and structure kills and stuff like that. So it really is like a big music theme.
Big music theme, big patch as well.
Huge patch.
I haven't done this in so long, and you guys give me this thing? Is that the joke, AJ? You wait until I'm out of practice until I'm ready to do this?
I didn't expect this to be one of the biggest Smite updates of all time. We were just working on a bunch of stuff, and people wanted some stuff sooner, and some other stuff had to happen now, and it all just came together into an absolutely record-setting Smite update.
We can't wait for you to get your hands on it, and again, it goes live much sooner than we used to. We're on this new patch schedule, so it'll be live on Tuesday, But before that, you can get in on PTS this weekend. So make sure you're staying tuned to all of our social channels and the website for information on how to download PTS and how to play on PTS. Can't wait to hear your feedback. We do know that with a change this big, it's gonna have some interesting changes that need to be made. So that feedback is gonna be very, very valuable to us. So please feel free. We're super excited to get your hands on this patch as well as the Slipknot event and Heavenly Light and all the good stuff. So thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you check out all of our social channels and stay tuned for PTS info this weekend. But for now, peach it.
What did you just say? Peach it? Peach it? All right.